Program Director, Ms. Wright, our Regional Academic Coordinator, our facilitators here today, my regional colleagues that are here, our students, these students that are in the room. A very good morning to you all. It is with a great honor and privilege to bid you all a warm welcome to the 2026 Postgraduate Research Support Orientation here in the Western Cape. Today marks not just the beginning of an orientation, but the continuation of a journey that each of you has worked diligently to reach. Allow me to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all our master's and doctoral students today. Reaching this stage of your academic journey is no small achievement. It is a testimony to your resilience, discipline, and intellectual commitment. I would like to acknowledge your presence here today, particularly because this session is taking place on a Saturday. Your willingness to sacrifice personal time to invest in your academic and professional growth speaks volume about your dedication. It is this very commitment that will carry you through the demands of your postgraduate study. Before I proceed, it is important to pause and recognize the collective effort behind today's program. I would like to sincerely honor and acknowledge our regional colleagues who have worked tirelessly to organize this orientation. A program of this nature does not come together by chance. It is a result of a careful planning, coordination, and a shared commitment to student success. From conceptualization to logistics, from engaging presenters to ensuring that every detail is in place, your dedication has made this day possible. On behalf of the region and our students, I extend our deepest appreciation for your hard work and professionalism. Thank you for this. The purpose of today's orientation is both clear and critical. It is designed to introduce you to the academic and research support system available within the region, while also creating awareness of the broader institutional support services that will accompany you throughout your postgraduate journey. More importantly, this program seeks to empower you, to equip you with the tools, confidence, guidance needed to develop and refine your research skills. As a region, we are intentional about ensuring you do not walk this journey alone. Our regional staff members are here to support you, guide you, to partner with you as you navigate the complexities of the postgraduate journey. This initiative is also deeply aligned with the vision of our institution. We are saying, as an institution, we want to be the African university, shaping the futures in the service of humanity. But what does it mean to shape the futures, particularly through a program such as this? We shape the future by investing in knowledge creation, by supporting you as a postgraduate student. We are nurturing thinkers, innovators, and problem solvers who will contribute meaningfully to the society. Your research has the potential to address real challenges facing our communities, our country, and the continent at large. Through this orientation, we are laying the foundation for that impact, ensuring that you are well supported, well informed, well prepared. This work also finds strong resonance with the National Development Plan of 2030. One of the key targets of the NDP is to significantly increase the number of the doctoral graduates in South Africa. This is not merely a numerical goal, it is a strategic imperative. A nation's capacity to innovate, to grow economically, and to respond to the societal challenge is closely linked to the strength of its postgraduate and research output. Therefore, your presence today is not merely important to your personal development, it is vital to the broader developmental agenda of our country. This orientation serves as a stepping stone toward achieving that national goal. By supporting your success, we are contributing to building a capable, skilled, and knowledge-driven society. As UNISA, we operate within the framework of an open distance e-learning. This model is both unique and powerful. It provides access to education for students from diverse geographical locations and backgrounds, breaking down barriers that traditionally limited higher education. However, ODL also requires a high level of self-discipline, independence, and effective time management. This is why programs such as these orientations are so critical. They create a sense of connection, belonging, and support within what it sometimes feels like a distance learning environment. They remind you that although you may study remotely, you are part of a vibrant academic community. Completing a master's or doctoral qualification will position you as an expert in your field. It will enable you not only to contribute to academic discourse, but to also influence practice, policy, and community development. You will be able to share your insights, challenge the existing knowledge systems, and propose innovative solutions. In essence, you'll become thought leaders who can shape conversations and drive change within their respective disciplines and communities. Allow me to acknowledge and introduce our presenters today that have been mentioned by a program director who will be guiding us today's program. We are honored to have within our midst today Dr. Tony Machila, who has been with us from yesterday from the School of Interdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies. And also we have Dr. Karen Stander. She was also with us since yesterday. The region is so busy, ladies and gentlemen. We also had a program yesterday that was driven from the Quality Assurance Department. In that program, we are also addressing some of the students from the communication, from the College of Law, and hence the colleagues from the College of Law has been introduced. But that project was led by Ms. Tepe, who we were expecting yesterday but could not be available because of that commitment. But today I'm glad that she's part of the program and the colleagues from a College of Law. Unfortunately, the dean has had to leave for the other engagement. I encourage you to actively engage with our presenters today, that you may ask questions and take full advantage of the knowledge being shared today. In closing, let me once again congratulate you on reaching this important milestone. As you embark on this next phase, remember that perseverance, curiosity, and discipline will be your greatest allies. The road ahead may be demanding, but it is equally filled with opportunity and growth. We, as the Western Cape region, are here to support you every step of the way. I wish you a very productive and enriching, enlightening session today, and also a success in your studies. We want to see you graduating for your master's and also for your doctoral studies. I thank you.
So much, Mr. Mfong, for that warm welcome. Students, I think we can give him another round of applause. That was really welcome and addressed by our regional director. Just some housekeeping rules that I just want to mention. Some housekeeping rules, but just where the ablution facilities are, it's right next to each other. There's a long passage, and then the ladies and gents toilets are there that you're going to have that you can use. We will be serving a little light lunch a little bit later on, as we will have water and drinks at about 11 o'clock. And then also at 11, Leanne would just like to take a group photo of everybody. So if you can just please remember that that is what we will be doing throughout the program as well. So the next presentation that will be taking place is from the Western Cape region, and I just want the whole team, if we can, just come up to the front, the Western Cape colleagues that are here, just so that I can introduce them. This is the team that you will be working with throughout your journey. So we've got Ms. Philomena Zal from our library services, and then we've got Mr. Jacques Toy, who I have introduced already, my counterpart, regional academic coordinator, and Mr. Tabo Gaini, he's our digital learning advisor. So if you need any support with any Office 365, my UNISA challenges, you can software that needs to be uploaded or anything like that, you can speak with Tabo. And then we've got Leanne Davids, who is our acting manager of corporate communications and marketing. We will be doing our article that will be published in on our intranet as well. So you might see your picture. If you do not want to be part of the photo, that's also fine, but we will be going onto the institutional Facebook page as well. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Jacques and Wilhelmina to do the overview of the Western Cape services that are provided and that you can make use of. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that, Bronwyn. I just want to know whether I'm audible.
Excuse me.
Because I can't hear myself. So I got some hearing loss after the flu. So, yeah, so let us continue. My name is Jacques Toy, and I'm the regional academic coordinator. I know that many years back, I was invited to do a creative writing workshop in a very small town, and they invited me. And when I started this, when I booked into my, my room, they asked me, "Who are you?" And I said, "Jacques Toy." And they said, "We thought that you were white." I said, "No, I'm not white." White, but that was a very sobering moment for me. I must tell you that. Right, so let us just start with the services of the regional support. So the Western Cape region, we've got two centres. Right, so we've got the one in George as well as the one in Cape Town. And part of our support services is to provide face-to-face as well as online support, making use of Microsoft 365, the Microsoft Teams, to connect with our students, mainly undergraduate, postgraduate, or those who registered for the short courses. So we've got various sections within the region. We've got counseling and career development. We've got academic reading and writing, quantitative literacies, as well as library services and digital learning support. I'm going to highlight today. Right, so can we just move on to the next? Right, so part of the postgraduate, especially the masters at the PhD, I know that sometimes you are sitting with your own thoughts. And you are writing things up only to realize that once it is in your head, it's just 2 pages long, and you need to have the complete chapter of 20 pages. So something in you, and I realized that with a lot of postgraduate students, something of you is actually breaking within the process, because you need to acquire new knowledge. There's certain gaps that you need to fill within the literature, and sometimes you don't feel well because of the whole research process, especially when feedback starts to burn. And that is mainly for those that consider themselves perfectionists, right? So we've got individual counseling services with our counseling and career development. So it's not only academic or career forecasting that they do, or having a more workable digital footprint. It's not only that we work with. We also work with, the counseling services, services, as well as group therapy and peer support, crisis intervention and trauma support, stress, anxiety, and depression workshops. And I think that is one of the things that I realize is very much underrated and not talked about. Is the thing about, falling into depression. Depression is not when you just sleep it off the entire day. It's the day when you start to really burn out because of your thoughts. It's where you just had enough and there's no more that you can give, right? So it's not those depressive, that kind of, let's say, kind of feel of things. It's also when you just had enough, you're still energetic, but you can't anymore. Right, so so we do offer support services for that with the registered educational psychologist as well as a counselor. Right, we're not going to read through much about that, but there are some postgraduate support groups of us in PhD, especially looking at the career development, psychological services, as well as psychoeducational interventions. We can go on to the next. And then part of our support is really by looking at yourself as in the holistic picture of your academic journey. For undergraduate, it's much easier because you want a degree and there is a saying, first you learn and then you earn. But the reality is that honors and masters, it's kind of viewed as a luxury because you don't really need it, or maybe you do need it, but you've got something to fall back onto. So part of this is also to have a growth mindset. It also require, that agility and that resilience to kind of say, I started this and I'm in this. And part of that is also where you say to yourself, in this journey, I came in with my soul, and when I leave, I want to leave with my soul. That is part of the bottom line of it. We want to complete. So part of yesterday's sessions with the masters, with the honors and the postgraduate diplomas, was also to look at self-regulated learning and time management. Where people felt the time management impact on that being productivity, and it is so that we need a lot. And yes, there's wonderful AI tools, but at the end of the day, you want to change the world, and not so much AI because they are going to be wonderful, wonderful words. The question is it contextualized, or is it if what you really feel, besides when you take all the written out and you just sit with the main points, is that what you want to say to the world? Right, so they are also there to sustain motivation of the coming research blocks. We move on to the next. And then they also provide training by addressing isolation, identity development as a researcher, and long-term motivation. Right, at the end of the, I have received some presentations. So at the end of the session, I am going to write an email to all of you, thanking you for being here today. But besides that, it's also to give you some critical resources, especially, and I will get to that now, but also to give you the email addresses so to contact for one specific service. Right, so part of the digital learning support, and that is where Tabo is very, very much instrumental. Part of the digital learning support is to make sure that you are digitally okay, not to struggle with technical side of things. So this is your Microsoft Office training. It is that training linking to writing for long documents because we know what is required. We're going to manually type in things, well, course name, and that it will accumulate to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, as in 2 months, because you need to set the documents up in order for the table of content and infrastructure is optimized. So part of the digital learning support is also provided with the necessary skills. And also I am going to see the email address of the ADLBH, that is Academic Development of the Virtual Hub. And they also run wonderful courses, and I will also touch on the courses that sorry, just like to studies. So if you can go to the next slide. Right, so these are the in the presentation that will be forwarded to you. You will be able to scan these QR codes if you want some digital learning support and need a consultation. Right, so let me start with library service, but I'm going to call you and then I'm going to continue with academic support.
Colleagues and students, my name is Marina. I'm for the University of South Africa, the library services in the Western region. I'm just going to give you an overview of what we offer to the students here at our campus. So the overview is going to be very short. What we offer is training. We do it from Tuesdays to Thursdays, mostly for undergrad students. But we also have a postgrad training that we offer. So if you are interested, you can register on the link. There is a link on our, when you go to Labcards, and you go to Cape Town Library, you will find our training schedule on there. On Labcards, you can also find when you go to your subject field, for instance, law, that is when you go on the UNISA website. If you go on UNISA, click reroute to library, and then you will find Labcards there. So under Labcards is the subject field, where you can also find your personal librarian if you need assistance. Your personal librarian will assist you with any question that you have. That is services that is offered for postgraduate students. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Sorry. So that is the service that the postgraduate offer. That the postgraduate students get from UNISA. It's free of service. And you will have the UNISA Research Voucher Repository. That is the repository where students can upload the data analysis from the UNISA. If you are a UNISA student, you can upload the data analysis. You can also go and have a look there if the other students' data analysis. Then there is a literature services. That is what the librarians offer to postgraduate students. Under that, you will find a number of electronic databases like citations and links to full abstracts, full text articles. When you do a search, you will obviously go to the library once again. You go to search catalog. That is for searches if you want to search for books. So you will use the search screen, that is catalog search, and there you will find books and course reserves. You can also do a summary search where you can use wildcards. I don't know if you are familiar with wildcards. It is the asterisk and the question mark when you do a search, which will add more, or you can limit your search outcome. Then you have the searches where you can go to your A list, your A to Z list, that is databases, that you can find also the databases in which your subject fields or your articles and thesis and dissertations, newspaper articles and journal articles is available in. Then you have our library hours, that is from 8 to 4. We are only open Monday to Friday. We were open weekends, but not anymore. But there is good news. There is going to be a research for postgraduate students on this campus where you can go to. We also offer IT support, just slightly, because FOL, I said, Then there is the UNISA institutional support because of the, I don't know if everybody's familiar with it, but it is where you will find the thesis, dissertations, research articles, conference papers, there in special materials and many other digital assets. UNISA also have a library digital collection that is the e-journals, the e-reserves, and the e-book. So that is the library digital collection that we have. I'm going to introduce you to our colleague, Mrs. Naidu. She's going to speak more about offering services to postgraduate students because she is a personal librarian. She focuses on a subject field, and that is her specialty to assist students, for instance, in law or education or in whatever subject field you may go. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for slotting me into this program. My name is Yegas Naidu, and I'm a personal librarian for the School of Law. I'm based at the Mapunya campus, and I have a colleague as well, Ms. Trifina Moketsi, and she's responsible for the School of Criminal Justice. So I'm hoping and I'm praying that all of you understand the critical role of a personal librarian in your research journey. And I want to take this opportunity of reiterating our important role throughout your research journey. So at the University of South Africa, a personal librarian is a professional librarian who is assigned to support students and researchers in a specific college or subject area. And because UNISA is an open and distance learning institution, personal librarians play a crucial role in helping users access library services remotely and effectively. We offer academic support and subject expertise. Personal librarians are subject specialists who understand the information needs of students in particular disciplines such as education, law, sciences, the humanities, etc. We guide students to relevant databases. We help you through to navigate electronic books and finding specific databases in the specific subject fields. We help students identify credible and scholarly sources for your assignments, your research proposals, and your research projects. We support postgraduate research by assisting you with advanced information searches. So we teach you how to search and where to search, and we also help you to use the correct search strategy to find the relevant information that you desire for your research project. We also help you with reference management tools. We offer group training, face-to-face training, telephonic training, email instruction, and one-on-one assistance via MS Teams. So students, please take advantage of this very critical resource that you have. If I have time, I would actually like to just show you, for those of you who don't know who your personal librarian is, I just want to show you how you get onto the library site and find the personal librarian that you want. So this is the library site, right? So if you go to this link that says services for postgraduate students, can you all see that?
Yes.
This is a very important link for you students. So please make sure that you go through this, you peruse through it. And then on the left, you'll see a link here that says personal librarian.
So once you click on that, you will see for the different colleges, for example, accounting sciences. So I'm not sure if there's anyone here who's in accounting sciences. But if you go further down, for example, I'm sure we have some education people here. You will see we have Mr. Nasira Motsatsi, who's responsible for the School of Teacher Education. And for the School of Educational Studies, we have Ms. Anna-Marie Straden. So you can just go onto this link, and then you can cruise through the list to get to know who your personal librarian is and take full advantage of that. Okay, due to time constraints, I'm not going to go through everything, but I just want to concentrate on another aspect which is really critical for you, which is a one-stop shop, and that's your Google Scholar. So now very often we have students who say to us that they are required to purchase articles. So if you do not go into a subscription database, your one-stop shop is Google Scholar. What you need to remember is if you're using Google Scholar, you will need to do your settings. So on the left here, you will just go to those 3 lines or the actions button, and then you click on settings. And then you will make sure that you go to the 3rd link that says library links. And in that box, you need to type in University of South Africa. The reason why we're doing this is so that you can link up your subscription databases onto Google Scholar so that you can retrieve full text journal articles. And then when you click on that submit button, you must ensure that you have all these ticked. You must have 5 ticks. Then you will click on save. This will allow you to retrieve full text journal articles without you having to pay for those articles because you're now linked onto the library subscription databases. So that's really, really important. If you have a title of an article or you have keywords and you just want to begin a literature review to see what is published in this field. So this is really, really important for you right at the outset. Then another very important setting on Google Scholar is ensuring that you have a plug-in for RefWorks. So I will explain RefWorks just now, which is a reference management tool. But whilst we're on Google Scholar, a very important setting for you is this plug-in. So right at the bottom, you will see we have Bibliography Manager. You must make sure that you have it set to show links to import citations. So you have a drop-down for EndNote and RefWorks. You will now set to RefWorks, and then you click on Save. Now, if you are doing a search, for example, on child law, okay, by doing that setting, you will all see that we have this plugin called Import into RefWorks. So that plugin now will allow you to capture or to export the bibliographic information of that journal article into your RefWorks account. Now, this will save you a vast amount of time. And what's really beautiful, and I'm not sure, can you all see my RefWorks page? So it helps you now to import the references into your RefWorks account. Okay.
Just a question. You're talking about Google Scholar there. We were advised that we should be using Scopus as the core go-to place, not this. That's the one thing. Just trying to understand how the two will be. Second part is also that part of our discussions was that there would be a plugin, libc, which is then used to possibly link what is on either Google Scholar or Scopus. Then the third aspect was there are a number of plugins with regard to either EndNote, RefWorks, etc. I use EndNote because it's something that I've come along with. And when you go through the Scopus process, it is a little link to upload the metadata.
Yes.
I just need to get clarity on that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for those points that you raised. Yes, Scopus and Web of Science are important databases. You should be using them. But it's important for you to just know that you can use Google Scholar as a quick reference tool. We do encourage our students to use Web of Science and Scopus. Those are regarded as the high impact journals databases, okay? But Google Scholar, instead of Google, has reputable peer-reviewed articles that are actually coming from our subscription databases as well. So you can actually use Google Scholar together with Web of Science, together with Scopus, together with Subnet African journals. So it just depends in the field that you're in as well. And if you are comfortable with using Google Scholar, you may continue because it does have scholarly articles. Yes, LibKey is a plugin already in Google Scholar, but we do have many students who struggle with LibKey. So I'm giving you an alternative to ensure that you have your settings in place instead of you trying to subscribe to a specific database.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so I was speaking about a reference management tool, and then each college has its own referencing or citation style. So for the School of Law, we use OSCOLA, and for the School of Criminal Justice, they have their own School of Criminal Justice citation style. So make sure that you link up and you have a good working relationship with your personal librarian so that your personal librarian can actually show you how to create a RefWorks account or an EndNote account, whichever one you're using. I know most of our students are using RefWorks. We are subscribed to RefWorks. So for the College of Law, our students make use of RefWorks. Make sure that you know how to search because that is a prerequisite before you can actually use a reference management tool. So the reference management tool will ensure that there's consistency. And then what's really beautiful about it is if you go onto Microsoft Word, it will actually allow you to automatically generate a footnote or in-text citation. So Microsoft Word has a plugin called RCM, which is a RefWorks citation manager. Colleague, I don't know how much of time I have, and I think I'm actually taking more time than I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
But I'm almost over, and I just want to quickly show you the plugin on Microsoft Word and make sure that you are using Microsoft 365 colleagues. We did have a workshop yesterday for our law students, and what we realized is that quite a few of our students are unable to see this plugin because they are not using Microsoft 365. So this RCM is a very important tool because it can allow you to automatically generate footnotes and allow you to automatically generate a bibliography. That was just a quick synopsis of what I wanted to share with you today. Otherwise, thank you so much, everyone, for giving me the time.
Thank you so much for that presentation. I'm sure that you will be part of this, okay, really soon, even via Microsoft Teams. Right, so let us just go back to the presentation of the Oberlin support. Right, so this is our postgraduate services on academic reading and writing workshops, and these just a few points that I want to highlight. After the session, you will see our email, and you will also receive a bit later on a newsletter where we are going to advertise our workshops, as well as it will be in different categories. For example, we are going to give you some opportunities because we are going to the easy academic developments of those a little bit later this year coming up, and you will initiate our so then I think it's very good that you use it to share your research, with experts in progress. Then yesterday, I know that Dr. Colin Sutton talked about before embarking on a research topic, and I know that some of you are already within the process. Read 120 articles in order to find the logical gaps or any type of gaps in your research. And I must admit that that is crucial because I realize, because I sit on ethics committees. So what has happened was a lot of students, they get referred backs or rejections by the ethics. And I think that is one of the stages I think the postgraduate student will fear, the ethics part of it, because you start drafting it, it goes for departmental review. After departmental review, you do the corrections. After the corrections, you send it back to the department or do the pay the supervisor sign it off. After the supervisor is signing it off, it goes to the college ethics committee, and the college ethics committee can either approve it or reject it or refer back. You can sign a rebuttal form. So I usually say to people, take the time of it. Make sure that you dot the I's and cross the T's and make sure that it's ready to be submitted with all your opinions. Yeah. The critical thing for postgraduate, you always embark on your research. I know that some of you, I don't know how many are familiar with the true course, right? The true course are modules that consist of 3 modules: informed consent, and I think it's research evaluation and integrity. Those are the files in order to apply for research ethics in some colleges, right? I just integrate that. But what is happening now is there's this epic game course, and that is 8 modules. It's based on the Australian Code of Research Ethics, and that also introduces to the Singapore Statement on Research Integrity, as well as some different types of, policies of securing your research to the sound. Right. So let us go over to our learning support. So as part of the regional support, you can book you can book a research consultation with us. We can look at your proposals or your chapters, and we can also critically interrogate that. And we will also guide you in terms of the microstructures or the micro parts of your research proposal, and then also look at your punctuations, your running needs, your page depth, your layout, your knock-on effects. And what I want to urge you to do is this. This is critical because it's a huge debate on statistical support if you do quantitative or you do, the qualitative part of it. There has been a debate, although we offer that services that Dr. Machino will look at. A lot of the supervisors feel that at PhD level or master's and PhD level, we're supposed to know your software packages, and that you need to interpret that on your own, right? So you need to know SPSS if you're going to use it, and NOVA if you're going to use that, or ATLAS-TI, and there's wonderful videos and multimedia resources on how to teach yourself and how to do that. They've also got a lot of the workshops that's been offered by them. To do your data analysis on downloading, you will touch on that, right, Dr. Jayla? Yes, it is your presentations. But also on the Monday, we've got the postgraduate writing service, which you can join. And I know that last year we started off with 50 students, and at the end of the year, we've got 57 or 60 students joining, right? So that is just to kind of monitor your own collaborative learning environment in terms of your postgraduate studies. Please bear in mind that you need to stick to the conventions of your college and what the supervisor prescribes. I think it's just fair towards the supervisor, it's fair towards the student. And one last point, please do note what the supervisor wants. I know that for master's level, we need to do descriptive, right? Descriptive writing or not. For PhD, it's analytical writing that really counts, right? And Bronwyn, I'm just going to take another minute just to illustrate it to you. You feel weird. I'm very excited. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Right, I do know that some of the supervisors return people's jobs because it's too descriptive. Right, please be mindful of that. If you struggle to make it analytical, just reach out to us and we will support you on that. But with that said, thank you.
So can I just ask the question, is any of the speakers going to be speaking about the picture?
Your consultation, I can talk you through it.
No. I'm asking, is anybody speaking about it as a general aspect on ethics?
Now, the 3 courses usually dealt with your department and the general course that modules that we need to do in order to get the certificates downloaded. That one will be contact you, actually I will guide you through that.
Thank you.
But it's not compulsory yet.
According to my department, it's
What
operations, what is operations management.
yes, basically there is. Yeah. Oh, it just made it compulsory for everything.
My question is just around you just mentioned that you should actually, MAT, the expenditure to know, new plans to do.
Sorry, Kerry.
Oh, that's fine, it's fine, no problem. So, okay, I founded the College of Economic and Management Science. So, but you say that, and, there's, you expected to do our own, this piece on here for the statistical analysis. But when I was doing my master's, it was in 2022. My supervisor, instructed me to outsource the people to do my statistical analysis. Though I did my own interpretation, as I understood. So I did my interpretation based on the data that was analyzed and some of them. So I don't know, but that was my own interpretation.
Yes, as long as you, for some supervisors, it's not compulsory yet, I think, for you to do it. I think a lot of supervisors are pushing that because in my case, they told me, if you're going to supervise one day, you need to be able to understand statistics as well as one thing of that analysis. And I think, but as long as you've got your confidentiality agreements between the coder, the transcriber, as well as the statistician, as I've looked at the data with the things, I think they will consider that.
Well, thank you. I'm not going to waste too much time introducing the next speakers because they are on a tight rope at the moment. So I'm going to invite Ricky from CESPLUS, Student Engagement and Quality Assurance, just to give you a brief presentation. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. And I want to start by apologizing. Unfortunately, I have to drive people to the airport for a 1 o'clock flight. Then I was available the whole day until I had to drive people to the airport. So apologies for that. And the group picture, if we have to be in the group picture, then it has to be immediately. But we will need Photoshop into the picture. I wanted to put a timer also to make sure that I try to make do of the time that I have. As a university, we have introduced what we call a student engagement in quality assurance for postgraduate researchers. Let me go to the podium so that I meet the quality that the reading has set for the picture. So the student engagement in quality assurance has come as a result of an audit that was done by the Council on Higher Education, where the Council on Higher Education said, UNISA, you have so many services that you offer your students on paper, but students are not consuming those services. You need to talk to them to understand why the services are not used, and it's possible they don't know that those services exist. Therefore, you have so many white elephants. Then the student engagement in quality assurance came about. Then also in the audits that they also did was to say, students are complaining that they give you feedback, but they never know what you have done with the feedback. And then staff say, we ask for feedback from students and they don't give us feedback. So indeed, a feedback mechanism platform is required so that they know what it is that is going to happen. So then this project, then we requested funding from the Department of Higher Education and Training, and then they gave us money to make sure that we run. This is the third year of the project. The emphasis now was on masters and doctoral students. And fortunately, when we were preparing to come here, the induction was also on the same weekend. Therefore, we had to extend our stay so that we have the opportunity to talk to you. So I'll be very brief, but the presentation I'm going to share with you so that you get the gist of everything that I would have loved to talk to you about. Now, within the higher education landscape, these are the mandates that the country has in running and ensuring that there's quality. There's the Department of Higher Education and Training, Council on Higher Education, and SACA. All the three are there to make sure that UNISA delivers on its mandate. We have been given the status to be a distance education university. Offer your qualification so that that mandate of distance, you keep on it. We know now as we grow, UNISA was for those that work, but now those that don't work have to study because otherwise there's no work, and therefore empowering yourself as you wait for job opportunities becomes an important aspect. That has also complicated the work that we do. DHET, I want to emphasize partners. We call you partners in the project. Partners, when you complete your master's degree, you get an SMS in the bank. When you complete your doctoral degree, you get another SMS in the bank. That SMS in the bank when you do your PhD, it's much more money in it. Therefore, it is important that you understand us supporting you to complete makes it possible for us to get some money in the pocket. We might have a strange way of showing we love the money when by not supporting you, but we do support you and we love the money and we love you to succeed and with record time so that SMSs come regularly. And that for me, one of the key reasons why our fees are much lower than many universities. So we are also desperate for you to complete because the fees will remain low. The more you complete, the lower the fees can go. So colleagues, we want you to complete and you want to complete in record time. You might have a strange way of showing that aspiration. Now we have within government structures, we have Senate, which looks after academic projects. We have the college policy committees. Now, within the student engagement in quality assurance, whenever an institutional audit is done, the quality assurance review is done, it cannot be completed without the voice of students. You are then asked to come to the panel and present what is your lived experience as you were undergoing your journey. And sometimes when we invite you, you don't come. How will you? Please come next time because your voice is that important. And even now, we have challenged the colleges. The College of Law is here, they'll tell you, to say, when you write your self-evaluation report as a college, we want a dedicated chapter where students reflected to say, how have they been serviced by your college? So that when the reviewers read our self-evaluation report, it has a section where we got feedback from you. They also need to make sure that they have a way of you understanding how they have reflected. Because when you go to in front of that review panel, you need to be able to talk from the point of where we feel as a panel now that lived experience, you can talk to it. And ours as quality assurance, we are told to ensure that lived experience is a positive lived experience. When it is negative, please talk to us. I know it's easier to go to social media and talk to us, but you are telling the whole country what the university of the country, everyone has an interest in the country. Therefore, after the country becomes this university, go talk to the country, they know you. Now you go to the country, you want a job. But you have spoken so much badly about the university of the country. Who should employ you in that country? No one. And therefore, we need to ensure that when we talk and you have problems, talk to us. We will clean it up. We still have a strange way of showing it, but still talk to us. And in quality, we are saying we are doing good, but we can do better. Can we do better if we don't know that our good is substandard? No, we won't. So that is why your voice becomes important to say you are doing good, you can do better. As you study, please, when you write to my academics, write a greeting all the time. Have you ever had someone who greets from an angry space? I haven't had someone who greets from an angry space. I get to be greeted from peace, from love. when you write to us, express that love when you write, because you'll get the love back. And I'm saying to our students now, if we can get into that culture, sometimes you are so frustrated. Remember, you are greeting when you write that email. Therefore, talk from greeting. And indeed, when I read your email, I will feel I'm doing good and I can do better. Because now your email says, hang on, there's something else that is amiss here. Can you please assist? Therefore, you also help us to be able to write. So the most enemy of UNISA students when it comes to social media, you tell us at undergraduate, they'll say, yo, I copied. How do you tell the whole world that you copied when the whole world is going to employ you? Who will want to employ you? I won't. Now, I think then your voice really is very important. And we have appointed student quality champions. Unfortunately, in hindsight, we have the student quality champion for the College of Law with us here. She would be very good to say, how is she seeing things change as this project has come through? Then we'll also begin to do that. Now, one of the presentations that I made in the workshop, which they just fell in love with, is this one. Now I'm obliged to take you through how then do we use artificial intelligence ethically, 150 years and beyond. Remember, if this university is 150 years old, you expect it to be unethical. It has stood the test of time. It is an Amstel of the place.
That is brilliant.
Now, this is our logo as the Student Engagement and Quality Assurance project. And we are saying, when you joined this university, either through seeing our buildings, you decided this university will give you the qualification that I want. Seeing me, as I walk in the street wearing a UNISA, I want to study here where this person works. So in other words, you join this university because there's a promise that was made one way or the other. One way or the other, there was a promise that was made, and therefore we tell academics in this university, quality in our midst experience is about delivering on that promise. I don't care whether you know it or not, but you walked past me, I saw how you were dressed, you made a promise, go deliver on it. And therefore, if the university understands that quality is about delivering on the promise, we have 400,000 students, those need those promises because there are 400,000. So when we have a strange way of showing it, it's because we have too many promises that we need to fulfill, that we are not conversing. Therefore, student engagement makes us understand what promise did you see us make so that you can come and join us. We say we are the African university. Who doesn't want to study in an African university? It's a promise. We need to deliver on it when then there's quality in the work that we do. And I was enticed at one point, I went into a session, somebody said, look around you. Is there anything in the room that is not technology? And the person did not understand the question the way I understood it. Anything that makes our life easy is technology. A pencil is technology. A chair you're sitting on is technology. The shoes you are wearing is technology. And then I said to her, challenge the owner of the question, anything that God created is not technology. Any other thing that is around is technology. And AI uses technology. Who can use it? If somebody says you can't use AI, then don't sit on a chair and then see whether you survive. And you won't. Therefore, AI is here to stay. They need to come on board. When they started, there was no AI. That's not our business. They need to learn. Otherwise, we will show them one or two things about AI, because we are now in an era where we grew with technology is technology. That was my first 10 minutes. So I think I'm not bad to repeat. So now that we understand that technology is here to stay, we need to understand how then we use it ethically. My slides will do whatever they want. Don't worry about them, they're terrible today. But when we talk about AI, they are saying, what is AI? AI is the ability of a machine to learn, to think, learn, and perform tasks like human beings. And what is it driven by? computers and computer programs. Now, this is my main emphasis on AI. I want to teach you AI my way. I'm not an AI specialist, I'm an AI fanatic. I come from the maths background. When they invented the calculator, it disrupted us. We were wondering, what will we teach? Did it go away because we said, what do we teach? It's still here. We had to accept it. And AI is a calculator of words. If you want to know, you'll accept it. Go check Google what they say about when the calculator was first invented, and you know you are in denial, and soon you are out of denial, you'll be better off. Now, the first thing that AI does as we use it, it's to read, understand, interpret, and put it in blue. When it interprets, and this thing does not have a brain, and it does not have a heart, who wants to trust its interpretation? I can't. So that's a red flag. If you are going to interpret because you are mimicking me, but you don't have a brain and I have one, I have to be careful about you. What is artificial intelligence? It was supposed to pop up first, but now the next one. When we talk about cognitive computing, it's a copycat of human conduct and reasoning. We understand what a copycat is. Can you submit a copycat to your academic? It's not the real thing. So when you submit it from AI, it's a copycat, and a copycat is a copycat. It won't change, even if it has so many lives. No cats. Now, it uses digital images. Right now, if you take a picture of me and put it on AI and say, can you write a poem about the person that you see on the pictures? But she's my friend, be careful. It will then write all beautiful things about what it means. And I said, remember, it's my friend. What have I done? I've influenced what it will interpret. Now you submit that. I told it, talk from a friendly point of view. So don't say talk from a friendly point of view and submit, because now you are submitting friendly, and the academic was looking for the other side of friendly. So it's important to understand that copycat mechanism. And then we say it has the ability to mechanically learn. Do we know what we mechanically learn? You know when you say, it's like normal, everybody knows, hey, what kremlin? And the kremlin, when we learned how to get home, do you get lost when you have to go home? Is it a wrong thing with kremlin? It isn't, because otherwise you would not be able to get home. You come to my mother's house when you are supposed to go to your mother's house. I krema your way to your mother's house, you will not get lost. Krema your way to your learning, you will never lose who and what you have learned. So when we do mechanical learning, we are storing it in memory. Now ChatGPT will store it in memory for you, and it will give it to you. The context might be totally different. So be careful that that mechanical learning comes from something that doesn't have a brain, that doesn't have a heart. Therefore, you need to be wary of what it is.
Refill it, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to. Now it will classify, deduce, and predict. The fact that it predicts, you will send some things that have been predicted, and it's a problem. This one, how AI systems profile you. It's important to understand when you use AI, if you can profile yourself, it will understand what you need. So that I am Refilwe, I'm doing a doctoral qualification with UNISA. This is my area that I want to do, and therefore I want you to do, go everywhere else and go deep and get everything that I need. It will do that for you. This is the thing that I want to do. Can you ascertain that my research gap indeed is a strong one? It's very, very strong. It will go there and tell you, yeah, when I look at it, these are the things. Okay, give me academic articles that reflect on those gaps. Now you go read. And you read and you read, you find your gap, because literally articles will tell you recommended research. Because the minute it's recommended research, it says there's a gap. It will do that nicely for you. Now, because of time, I wanted to do a demonstration of
one of the AI tools that Microsoft Word has developed. Can you assist me and share something else here? I'll tell you what to share when you're next to me. So in this one, I just wanted to say, can AI really create a copycat of me as a researcher? Can it? It can't. You will still have to be unique. And therefore, we need to understand that it will not convert us into researchers, it will not convert itself to me, but it will assist me to be able to do my research. So they can share this one, then we share there's a ChatGPT that I've opened on the I don't know what it's called now, but you know that. So then what I wanted to do, the exercise that I wanted us to do, which I think is very important, I value it, is where we go into Microsoft So then what I did as I was sitting here, I just wrote a sentence, because when you use ChatGPT, then you can just write a sentence or two. So why is it not sharing? You are fired. So then I just said to it, give a brief description of qualitative research. Then it does that for you. What is qualitative research? And I said brief because I can tell you it would have given me 5 pages. Now, the next one that you're going to share, let's go to the Word document. There's a Word document there. So then I copied that thing that I highlighted, put it into a Word document. Now we are going to go into the Word document. A blank one. I think we have copied. Let's just open the blank one. I think it's still, I still copied the blank.
Just open new. Okay.
Faster than my computers. And then paste it. Okay. Then now we have pasted that short description that it gave us. Now, in terms of our micro and our word, there is the K there. Do you see the K? It's here. Kenia's Research Explorer. Can you click on it for us? Now, when you click on it, it then opens the Kenia's Research Explorer. Then it says supporting your research journey. Then you click here, search for relevant articles. Can you click that for us? Search for UNISA, let me say we have on Microsoft 365 a free copy of Kenia's, as Menaidu said, it's important that you have Microsoft 365. You are given only 3 chances per day to do that. Then you see what it says. Of course, I'm searching for research on qualitative methods for understanding human experience and social phenomenon. Now it's thinking and looking for whatever information then that you get. Can you please go quicker, AI? Oh, I found them. I found them. So you can scroll down that just to see how many of these articles it has given you. So it will give you a number of articles. Sometimes it gives you 10. When you are lucky, it gives you 20. Now that you are sitting on that one, your numbers, I don't like it. Let's do this one. Yeah, classical theory. So you click on that article. When you click on that article, this is what it gives you. Then here it will say access to full text, PDF, and cite and save. So then what is going to happen is let's scroll down. It also then gives you the abstract. So when you scroll down, then this is the abstract of the article that you found. Therefore, you are able to read and say, does that resonate with what you are looking for? If it resonates with you, then we scroll back up. I'm scrolling back up. Then we come here and we click on cite. Then when you click on cite, then this is what cite publication. You click on cite publication. Yeah, just click. What has it done? It has brought the article into that document that you had put. So normally then what I do is I then highlight this, write it as a heading so that now all the links to the heading qualitative research, I will put them here. Then I go file it in my filing system, where my filing system is about the chapters of my thesis or dissertation. Then methodology has a chapter, qualitative will be a subfolder. The sky is the limit. And therefore, then when you are done with this, you go back again and check. And make sure that when you use Kingias, make sure that when you use Kingias, make your sentences as short as possible. 2 sentences are enough because the more information you give it, the more confused it gets. So try to shorten it a sentence or 2, then you are like, thank you so much. I think Kingias for me was the most important that I needed to make sure I get to it. Thank you.
Just two things that I wanted to add on the with the AI. I see you mentioned the hallucination. The second part, and I am an AI well, so I thought I'll just add this one positive influence when you're typing on the AI. It will be a positive influence, and then the second thing is Gemini is free of charge to students. So if you want to, then you can download Gemini, part of the Microsoft, and it is free on a premium version.
Okay. And Microsoft Copilot all have it. So I use ChatGPT, Gemini. There are so many of them. I didn't want to write them because there were too many. Claude, there's I gave. So, and that's
No, not it's Gemini is free. It's a general tool if you're a student. Often this
Thank you so much for your work. Thank you to the students that are also contributing and giving us some information. I learned a lot. I didn't know about Kingias. Thank you for your work. It's going to make my PhD journey a little bit easier. We are going to have a slight shift in the program. We're going to invite the College of Law, Prof. Manamela and Prof. Benson to the podium just to come and give you a brief discussion. I'm not sure what it is that you want to present, so I'm also keen to listen. How many students do we have in the College of Law? Okay. So I'm going to then hand over to you, Prof. Benson and Prof. Manamela.
Morning, everybody. Sorry we were late. The Cape Town traffic caught us.
Yes.
Okay, so the College of Law is consisting of 2 schools, School of Law and School of Criminal Justice. How many are here for School of Criminal Justice? 2. Yay!
You're lucky.
And the rest are lawyers.
Yeah.
Okay, so Prof. Manamela is the head of our research component in the college, and I'm the acting head of quality assurance in the college. I'm amazed at the amount of QA specialists who are female. Just putting it out there. Okay, so yesterday when we spoke about what it is we were going to speak about, we also didn't know what we were going to speak about. So I see Prof. Manamela has prepared a little something, but I think what's more important to us is what is it that you need to know? Because we can tell you all sorts of things. It's no good to man or beast. And then we think, yes, IPMS, chick. But did that meet your need? What do you expect? Because when expectations are not verbalized, they remain unmet. So only when we know what it is that you are struggling with, what it is that you need to know, what it is that you need to have more information on, that is when we help. If you are a vegan, it doesn't help by giving you it's not going to help. Prof,
Are you guys struggling with AI?
Technology, prof.
Technology, okay, yes. Well, technology, they say to err is human, but you really can't put it up, takes a computer. So yes, let's start from there.
This one.
Can I then ask, just let's take the first round of questions. What are the burning issues that we need to be aware of
Damn.
so that we can start actioning them? But I have
Just
a
join hands, I'm gonna call you in.
College of Law. There's a T's and C's. In the college space, we are the big fish.
This,
we don't
this,
talk on.
this one.
But in the university space,
Yes.
it's in the big one. So in terms of college management, we can get some things done. But in terms of the university space, but in terms of the university space, first of we see to try and change. To try and change academics is like relocating a cemetery. You get no cooperation from the inhabitants. So that's the space we are in. Okay. Let's take 3 questions. Anyone? Don't ask me about the war. I don't know. Ask me about research. Ask me about processes. Yes.
I've got a question. We've recently had an issue at UNISA with regard to importing information from Scopus. So you had, and it doesn't affect you when you're a staff member or when you are physically on campus. The problem is when you are offline and working off onto the internet, and there's a direct problem with Scopus extracting all the data that you have as an end user.
Well, we are very blessed to have the one, the only Ms. Yegas Naidu, who is the College of Law librarian. Guys, this lady is a jewel. You are presenting, Yegas.
I did the presentation just now, but what we're going to do is, because I also learned this morning, thank you so much for raising that. Because what I also learned that there are students across all colleges here. These are not only law students. So thank you for raising that. I think your personal librarian is Melanie Malan.
No, it's actually Mr. Malefe.
Mr. Molefe. Okay, yes, they are from the same floor that I'm on. So what I'm going to propose is, because I think this is going to be affecting all our students, would you kindly send me an email?
I'll forward the same email that I sent to Mr. Malefe.
Yeah, please send it to me, because then I will follow it up with our vendors. Because it just could be a technical glitch and then we need to give it our urgent attention. But thank you for raising all these issues. Thank you.
We have another question, yes?
If the students are logged in on their personal computers at home, on the UNISA, on the UNISA platform as a student, because I think that might also be the case where they can't access the databases. If you're not logged in onto your Microsoft 365, logged in as yourself on the laptop, then you won't be able also to access the library websites.
Yeah, that's true.
So you must be logged in on your student account,
Yes,
not on your,
log in with your
on a work account or anything else.
The UNISA system only recognizes the UNISA username and password. When you write to your lecturer or your supervisor and you write from a Gmail or another, you know what happens to that email? It goes to my junk folder. And then you complain a week later, you ignoring me. I didn't get your email. The system is there to protect you and to protect me so that there is an audit trail of what happened. And because we usually sit with he said, she said. And then how do you prove? How do you prove? So let's use our student emails.
Morning to everyone. Thanks to the organizers at the Allo facility. we had engagement with another group of students for just 2 days, where we got to know about concerns that students have, and we have promised and committed that we would attend to those queries and challenges that are experienced by our students, because we want to see our students be supported and succeeding in their lives. Yeah, I'm quickly going to run through a number of slides. Some of the things that I'm going to speak to might have already been covered. I don't know if going by that, but we have important document, master's and doctoral degrees procedures. This is a very important document because it gives you a step-by-step information of what you need to know and do as a student of postgraduate studies. And we have noted that many students do not meet this document. That's why students need to be read in conjunction with other policies, of course. At college level, the executive team is the overseer of the custodian of the procedures being assisted by the head of college. Now, in terms of the admissions and registration process, we all know it's done online. And for masters, research and doctorals, in outline, research outline is required, because that's information or document that you need to know if you know what you are going to research on, if you understand that area or the topic, and also to assist us to allocate you the supervisor. And with that, the departments are then able to immediately, where possible, allocate you a supervisor. But if they can't, they would indicate a contact person. So the letter that you get upon registering will have the name of the supervisor or the name of the contact person. The duration of the qualifications. We see our students taking forever sometimes to exit the system. And that's a concern to us. We at times have to be lenient to our students and allow them time to complete, whether it takes 5, 6, 7, sometimes we can't mention the number of years. So we are saying, please assist us while you have complaints about us as lecturers or supervisors, also assist us by completing on time. The master's qualification is 3 years. We can give you an additional 1 year where we see that you are progressing well. Now, this is in terms of the rules. Yes, the doctoral is 6 years. We can give you 1 additional year, subject to you showing.
Sorry, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around why a master's should take 3 years. Is there any particular reason why a master's can as many as 3 years? Is it possible to take 1 year, 12 calendar months?
No.
But why should one model take 1 year? Is that
That's 2 years.
just a model?
No.
But not everybody does, not everybody does the same. We do, I did a full thesis. Thesis, so it's different.
Well, in the program I said for the International Economic Law, I said I'm supposed to do a model for a year, because some of the exams are coming up in 2027. And I'm still trying to understand that. 2027, the exams will take place in 2027. And the assignments take as long as September.
Yeah.
I need to understand how this runs, because I don't understand it.
Let's get this distinction. There is a master's by research.
Masters.
By research. That's where you do the proposal and then we proceed to the dissertation. It's that one is easy. You can do, say, within 2 years, because you start with the proposal. Once you are done with the proposal, you can go to the presentation. And the other masters, it's a structured masters, which has 4 coursework modules. We would complete those modules, then with the proposal, then the business station.
They all be completed in 1 year.
You can. Yeah, you can. Okay, let's move. 6 years for doctorals, we can give you a parcel of 1 year.
That's one of the reasons students don't finish up.
Yeah.
But it's too extended and sometimes it gets so, checked out and then it's stressful and lose motivation and lose problem.
I'm trying to be good to our students and also, but yeah, it's affecting on us in a negative way. This is what we are saying. It's possible to complete a proposal within 6 months. A proposal we are given a year, but we are saying students with their supervisors, let's at least work towards completing it within 6 months because we know it's possible. And once we are done with the proposal, we can start preparing or start your drafts for the chapters. Then that year, at least in that year, you shall have done the proposal and maybe 1 or 2 chapters. And that will also help in terms of reducing the time to stay in the system. The Benida station, as we say, we are saying can be done within a day. It's possible. So let's try that full dissertation, a year to 2 years. The PhD research, 3 to 4 years instead of waiting 6 years. But we have students who have done it in 2 years. Deferment of studies, this is another challenge, where students would not register for a particular year. The following year, they want to return, not knowing that if you have not applied for deferment, you'll be required to reapply and to be readmitted to the program. So let's just take note of that. You, whatever is are not able to register in 2026, you need to apply for deferment within the registration period, not after. Because we're seeing students apply years later, September, October, November, when the year is almost done. The curriculum masters by research, you do the proposal, then the full dissertation. Structured masters, as I said, 4 coursework modules were the proposal, the main dissertation. The doctoral, the proposal, the thesis, 2 manuscripts, and an oral defense for you to pass or exit the system. So with the manuscripts, it's better to incorporate that or include that in your plan with your supervisor, and so that you can along the way already start working on the manuscript, so that you don't complete the thesis and you have to wait for whatever period for your manuscript to be finalized.
Can you clarify for me the following? If you complete the manuscripts prior to graduation, does it also form part of your studies? For example, if I should now decide to take my work and I find there's another little gap which I can write a manuscript now, even though I'm just starting with my research proposal, as an example, and I submit this to the DHBT and it passes, right? Is that forming part of my pass for the 2 manuscripts? And on that, it is important that I get referred to, like a linguistic say, to the legislative aspect of the research. So I do not want to be in a situation, and trust me, I've been there before when I was at UCT, because I completed a journal and it was not accepted and I had to write another journal. So I want to make absolutely sure that I do not get caught in the same predicament.
Yeah. The manuscript should be written and submitted. We'll get to that. Submitted during your time as a student.
So to clarify, even if I do it prior to me graduating and not during that time when my dissertation is now submitted, it will come.
It's still fine. Yeah.
Good.
It's still fine, but it has to be linked to the,
Yes.
it can't be on.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
And you have to have ethical clearance for it. You can't just preempt it and write something before you have ethical clearance.
Okay.
Watch out, because they will not, the journal won't accept it and university.
Okay, now there's a follow-up question on that. Sorry about it. So if that is the case, I can understand if work that you're doing requires ethical clearance, if it affects people or things or someone. If it's a desktop study, does it also need ethical clearance?
Yeah. What you say.
And
Just maybe
that
to-
ethical
yeah.
clearance, is that related to, do I need to now submit a separate ethical clearance for my journals, or is that inclusive of my
Not
ethical
necessarily.
clearance? Okay, okay.
The clearance that you got for your study will cover that. Yeah, just to clarify the part that they wanted to cover. With regard to the manuscript, what is required at the time of finalization of the results is proof of submissions to journals, and not necessarily the publication.
Okay, okay, thank you.
I just want to, so for master's student, it's compulsory to have a master's prior to graduation.
Yeah, not at the moment.
I was told that if I did two masters, I.
Only for a PhD.
Lord.
One good-
Lord,
yeah.
at some
At that
point,
point,
Yeah.
before I got graduate.
it's no longer.
No longer.
It's no longer, but
Okay. Yeah, so in the case of the manuscript, you can be a sole author, it's fine. You can co-write with the supervisor, but you need to take the lead as the main author. Papers. Supervision and co-supervision, as I've explained, where possible, we appoint immediately upon admission, where not, it can be done later. And we look at the qualifications and expertise of the supervisor, and also the research report of profile. And there are reasons why at times we need to appoint a co-supervisor, mainly could be to transfer skills, whether research is transdisciplinary, etc. But the main or primary supervisor still need to take the lead. Student responsibilities, we need to register every year until you complete. We have students who have been would register, say in 2020, then the other years they don't register, but they get supervised, because at times supervisors will take it for granted that the student is supervised, only to realize at some point that the student was not. So it's a responsibility of the student to register every year to pay the fees. The importance of the procedures. Another important thing is to complete the supervision agreement with the supervisor, because it's in that agreement where you both indicate your taking responsibilities, timelines, communication, lines, etc. Okay. Yeah, so let's remember that. Supervisor responsibility is that they maybe to guide and support the student, and to make sure that they give the student areas and quality construct that we prepare. That is the structure of the proposal that we have adopted and be followed by the students. And then this is the structure for the cover page for the proposal. The state proposal review process, once you are done with the proposal with the supervisor is okay. It still need to go through a peer review process within the department. And once that process is completed and it's approved, it's then that the supervisor can submit the results for that proposal. When the process will get assessed with know that you are done with the proposal. So, as they go there, for the master's proposal, we have two reviewers, one reviewer, then for doctors, it's two reviewers. And we can only apply for the ethical clearance once we are done with the proposal. So we are done with the proposal, please apply for the ethical clearance before you proceed to the designation. That's a requirement. And we have seen many students speaking that.
On that, do we wait for the results of the RP to come through before we can do anything? Applications?
Yeah, the supervisor will have problem. Yeah, once you know that the proposal is ready, go through the application. They will let you know how you can apply for it.
That's particular Facebook. I've seen a lot of communities to it takes so long. Things to the good frustrated. And I'm one of also I have to complete my business. But because of the problem, it's very frustrated a lot of people. Not myself, but I've seen a lot of students. And I think that needs to be defined and take into consideration now. Because now takes us back what we're looking forward. So please can you take that into consideration?
What are the issues there? The time it takes to get the approval or the time it takes to apply? Let's get it. The approval. Okay. Yeah. If I'm correct, we are working with a 2 weeks turnaround time. And if it takes longer than that, that's what I think. If it takes longer than that, please check with your supervisor. The supervisor can follow up with the chairperson for ethics committee. Or you can even write to us so that we assist you.
I think it's important that everybody knows two things about the process, and I just read about it in Hollywood University a couple of weeks. But because of all the drama I had at my previous university, I made very sure to find out about these things. Ethics committee comes together the first Thursday of every month. In order for you to apply for that process, you need to have handed in 2 weeks prior. And that is 2 weeks prior to your supervisor and co-supervisor have approved your RP. So in other words, if you want to have the process, your RPs handed in today, right? Or say the end of this month, then it's going to take a month and a half, basically a month and a bit for just the ethics part, but you have not had your research, your supervisor approving it. If it happens towards the end of the month, then it literally will take about 2.5 months of ethics just to get it onto the table. So everybody just to be aware of that aspect, that it could take between 2 and 3 months there. So it's just a warning. If you want to have your stuff done in time, make sure that you have it in the beginning of the month so that you allow your supervisor to have 2 weeks to review your work, and in time for the ethics committee to have it on the first Thursday of the next month.
Yeah, I would like to really know or understand the longest period it has ever taken to get an approval so that we can address that in the check.
So that some students don't complain because they want to avoid the issue of conflict. The supervisor. And I complain now, so that's how we want to to kind of, so at the end of the day, we just have to wait. Even if it takes 3 months, we just wait. So that's some of the issues.
Let's get this right. Is it a proposal feedback or the technical? Hearing?
You already have done the proposal.
Okay. Now we'll address that with the chairperson.
So I'm not ethical clearance of political funds. So and I understand exactly why. Right? Send rules, they will send it, and then they will send it back with 7 comments. So now you can make the comments and then you send it back thinking, okay, but then it comes back and then they give you another 6 comments. Now you have the 14, but it's different. So there's things that you didn't focus on. And then you correct it, and you see the message is okay now. And then it comes back, now you have one comments.
The banner.
They don't deal with the fisheries first time.
Which college is that, man?
Human sciences.
You need to
It's information science, it's like.
Human science, College of Human Science.
I think we can address that.
Maybe other people are.
Yeah, let's move to finish okay. If you are done with the thesis and then you want to submit for examination, you need to submit a notice of intention to submit. And then you need the consent of the supervisor to do that. The supervisor, if they know you are ready, the process is ready, they would allow you to submit. If not, we will advance. When the written file is issued, then you get to a point where we appoint examiner. Just take note, for M's, we appoint 3 examiners, for D's, we appoint 3. 2 examiners, 1 internal, 1 external. These 3 external, with 1 being an international student. Okay, the examination process, I will try to summarize. You want to take over? Okay. Okay. Yeah, the other challenge that we are having, if you can have a look at that slide, it gives you different results that your work can get. 1.2 minor corrections, 1.3 major, 1.4 revised and resubmit. The concern we are having there, the fact that students are taking forever at times to make these corrections. Corrections that can be done in 2 months. They are done in 6, in a year's time. 4 months, just like that. A year is another degree. So that's correct that. Okay, I need to finish. Prof. Benson will be there to take the questions. The examiner, the Viva Voce, for those who are doing the Ds, once you are done with the thesis marked, and the examiners are saying it's fine, you can proceed to the Viva Voce. Then there would be communication where you are given SOPS so that you read and understand what is expected of you, etc. It's done within 5 weeks after the exam. And all the examiners need to be there, and the examiners, the students, they are the ones who are actively participating in the proceedings. The NEC, who is the chairperson of the meeting, is the one who is in charge. Then the rest of us are just there to observe. The student is given 30 to 35 minutes to send their work. And then we ask questions on that. Student support, we have 4 workshops. In the first workshop, we cover those items or topics indicated there. Mainly is about procedures and processes. Second workshop, we cover methodology, data gathering, sampling, writing of a proposal, attestation, etc. Third workshop, those are the topics that we cover, including the examination process. And in the workshop, we give students an opportunity that their work. It could be draft proposals or chapters. That's the name of the higher degrees coordinator in the college, and the email address. This is the person you can write to if you have any problems or issues. We will definitely assist you. Thank you.
How can we get copies of the slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we?
We will make them available.
Yeah, and we will send it out.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think we can give them a round of applause. I'm going to quickly go for that photo, because I think there are colleagues that need to catch a flight, and then you will come back into just a brief body break and also go into the session to continue with Dr. Stander and Dr. Majida's presentations. If we can just meet outside in the foyer here, we've got the banner, where we can just have a quick photo.
I'm not flying.
Oh, sorry.
I'll stay with my stream.
Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm going to hand over to Dr. Stander so that she can continue with you and enjoy the engagement. We will be having we're still waiting for our catering to come, but as soon as that arrives, then we will just quickly grab something to eat and continue with the session as well.
Okay. Dr. Tony is But what I want to do actually before we start, I'm going to do some research of my own. Who is doing a master's degree? Okay, all of you said at one time. Tables together.
So let's put them.
We're doing data sorting.
We'll put all the masters on this side.
Okay. And then if you're doing a PhD, sit on the other side. Okay, if you're comfortable, but sort of move you around.
Yes, I'm going to understand. But I think it's a
Okay, if you just started this year and you're doing a course worth masters, put your hand up.
Moving to research.
Okay, in between, but you start registered for coursework this year, coursework, okay, the 490 for coursework together. Yeah, that's it, that's
sorry, last year.
you started last year, okay, so you, but it sounds like, okay, but you still can this year, okay.
It's many dissertation.
If you are going to do a mini dissertation, so mark it by coursework, all groups together for me, please, because only you second year, you already completed your modules.
So yeah, but starting the mini dissertation.
Okay, so they coursework. If you're doing a master, as I said, don't get too comfortable, like that sort of thing. If you are doing a master's by dissertation, that's right. PhD, first year PhD, or for the third year. You guys, oh wait. All okay, waiting for approval. Already submitted. Oh, data collection. Data collection. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's some practical research. Okay, I did that because part of what Dr. Tiny is trying to do. He is trying to, and I do it with my students also. I've got 3 new PhD students starting this year, and they don't have to like me, but they have to like each other. Because there are going to be days that you are not going to like your supervisor very much. And you need people to help you through this journey. And the people you are sitting around the table with are here and they are close to you. And you can use the offices and the space that they have here made available to you to sit together and work through what you have. Because you're all on the same journey. And if you work this course together, not first of all so lonely, and that's one of the things and the reasons why people fall out of postgraduate research is because it gets very lonely to sit in front of a PC the whole time and, you know, nobody understands it. Your husband doesn't understand it. Your kids definitely don't understand it. And, but the people around the table with you, yeah, they understand it. And then also, you're all here for a different reason on why you want to get your master's and why you want to get your PhD, but at least they are walking this path with you. So share numbers. Some of you, and come sit here. They've made very nice spaces available for you to sit and work in a space that's got nice aircon, free Wi-Fi, it's safe, and you can sit in a group and still do your own work and just, do you have a nice article on quantitative research or on qualitative research? then share it with each other. Okay. So I would do planning.
Thank you, and good morning once more. My name is Tony, and I am from the College of Graduate Studies. How many of you know about this college? Because it is different. It's not like the college that you are registered at. We don't offer any courses, so there's no teaching and learning. What we do is research support. So for every postgraduate student, honors, postgraduate diploma, they were here yesterday, master's, PhD, you need to be our friend because we are your friend. You need us on this journey because we will be supporting you. We want you to succeed. Prof. Manamela talk about the research training workshops that they are doing in the College of Law. So you will see at UNISA, there's a lot of workshops that are going on. At the college level, at the departmental level, libraries, regions, and so forth. And also as a College of Graduate Studies outside of your college, we are doing a lot of workshops. This week alone, there were days where we had almost 3 workshops in a day. And we are doing them to support you because we want you to win. So first and first, I've been called to talk about preaching this divide because in distance education, there is this divide. There is this divide that we need to work on. And because I thought you are senior students, but let me just go back through literature a bit. So if you read the work of Michael Moore, talking about this transactional distance, the distance between you and your lectures, the geographical one, you might be staying far away from the regional campus. So that is also a distance. So he's talking a lot about this distance and how do we bridge that gap through dialogue. And this is what we are trying to do today. You talk, we listen. We talk, you listen. So there needs to be dialogue. You need to communicate with your lecturers. I've observed there are a lot of complaints, concern, and so on. You need to bring it up, make them aware. If your lecturers are not responding, contact your M&D coordinators. These are the people that you need to know. I mean, you are the executive deans, chair of the department, and so on. But there needs to be that dialogue. And don't be scared. Don't be scared. We have a Facebook page for M&D students. Yeah, it's a nasty one. People complain, but it's okay. We can take it. And I'll also send you a link where you can go there because sometimes it's a lot, you know, and you have to vent out. So it is a safe space. We let you vent out. It's okay. We don't take it personal, but you do get help, you know, from other students.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
That Facebook page, I think this one.
No. There is not a Facebook page, but I'm talking specifically about the one from College of Graduate Studies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's very, yeah. So dialogue, very important. Structure. There needs to be structure. That's why we have this research training, workshop, support, you know, the region have the seminars, orientation, and so on. There is a structure. And structure is very important in distance education. You saw during COVID, face-to-face universities gave their students laptops to go and study at home. But many couldn't. It was difficult. But for our students in distance education, it was very easy because we have structure. So structure is very important and it goes with planning. Autonomy. We want you to be independent. While there is support, but you have to function and be independent student. So why are we doing these research training workshops? We are doing them so that you as senior students, you can familiarize yourself with the research environment and the research ethics. And there were a lot of concerns regarding the research application process and so on. Next month, we are collaborating with the Research Integrity Office. So that is the main office responsible for research ethics.
And I'll give you a link to our website where we post our monthly workshops, topics, links, dates, and so on. But next month, on the 11th of May, we will have overview of research ethics. And on the 18th of May, they will be taking you through this online application process that many of you are struggling with. If you are unable to attend, it's fine because we record our workshops on our YouTube channel. But I am encouraging you to attend so that you can engage with the colleagues from the Research Integrity Office so that you can understand this system, how it works, how you can prepare and so forth. And we'll talk about some of those challenges regarding planning. Because I know some of the students, they will do the research proposal, pass it, do the chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and as soon as they are now under pressure to collect data, they are now applying for research ethics. And it can mess up, your planning and so on. Part of these workshops are there to provide information and train you on the research process, the function components of the research proposal, which of course we will start again with the proposal in the following month. But there is a lot of workshops that are there on our YouTube channel, 5, 6 years ago. So feel free to go and check. There's no need to wait for next month. We are also doing this workshop to make sure that you can be able to utilize these resources, especially in the library and these vast technologies that we're talking about. And Dr. Karen will also talk about that. So the more you attend this workshop, you will also have that confidence, to use these tools that are there in the university. And of course, to have this better understanding of the meta theories, your theoretical framework, conceptual framework, the models, and so on in your discipline and beyond your discipline. So these are some of the things that can benefit you. And we do a workshop online using MS Teams. There are also a few face-to-face sessions. So we are encouraging you to visit the digital guide so that in case you don't have your Microsoft Word, this Office 365 programs, we give you free of charge. So there's no need for you to purchase that package. We provide you free of charge at UNISA. So we are using Microsoft Teams. Now this is our college structure, though it is different. We also have a deanery. We have postgraduate admin department, quality assurance is there, and 2 schools, interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary. And I'm going to talk about the service that they offer. Postgraduate admin department. So they're responsible for application. And when you are applying for master's or for PhD, you will need a research outline. And we are doing those workshops to support you so that you can have that outline ready. It doesn't matter whether you will be accepted at UNISA or not, but we provide the system before you are even registered. After you are registered, then you will access a lot of these interventions. But they are responsible for registration. They are also responsible for capturing the research proposal, module result, and so on. If it happens that you want to change your topic, this is the department that will obviously assist. But then in your colleges, you also have Office of Graduate Studies, and you can go through those offices in law. Prof. Malamela is the chair, I'm the head of Graduate Studies. So let me just change the topic. There is a process. Examination, you have to put notice of intention. Please talk to your supervisor. But what it means is that when you are ready to submit, you have to put this intention so that the department can go and outsource the external examiners. So we see a lot of students now doing this on their own, and they fight with their supervisor. So
just make sure you create this nice environment with your supervisor. And after that, you will get this submissions link, and it will be easy for you to submit your manuscript. The email address, very simple, mnd@unisa.ac.za. For every inquiry that you are having regarding these admin issues, M&D. And this one it's for exam. I've also put a link where you can access directly this web page for this department. Quality assurance, Benson, you must be excited. So they don't usually support students directly, but we have this office in our college, and we have this M&D dashboard. I believe all of you should be aware of it. If not, it's fine. There are these continuous workshops that we are doing. So what it means, this is just an interactive platform on my UNISA, where we can see all this training. Prof. Madam was talking about the training. So some students will complain that, you know, I send this chapter to my supervisor, they didn't respond, and so on. So each and every activity will be captured on that system. They used to do it on my UNISA, they're still doing it. But on the M&D dashboard, it is easy. So we can see that trend of events. So it is also integrated with MS Teams. And like I said, they are dedicated workshops for M&T as well as for supervisors. Now, one of the schools is a School of Transdisciplinary Research. They are doing a lot of workshops. You will see now they have a special program, African Academic Student Development Program. They've launched it last week. And one of the courses that the flagship courses is Academic Integrity Fundamentals 101, which is sort of compulsory for everyone. I mean, this student, you need to do this course. So I am encouraging you to do this course. I've also put the direct link to the school webpage. There's also School of Interdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies. This is the school where I am. We are doing laboratory training, and we are working, though we have our own librarian, but we're also working well with other personal librarians, and Ms. Naidu is one of them. We are working well. She is supporting students from College of Law very well. Tennetin, all of you must be aware of Tennetin. There are a lot of workshops that are running. We have done one for M&D. The next one is next week, Friday. So if you have missed the previous ones, it's fine. Next week, Friday, 9 o'clock, you can attend that one. Don't worry, I'll share the links of where you can get information about joining in the workshop. We also have a statistician, dedicated statistician. So those of you who are doing quantitative research, there's a lot of support coming from this office. Not only data analysis, you know, from questionnaire design, data analysis planning, everything. And there is a lot of workshops that are going on. She's also doing some SPSS workshop. So this is the software that we are subscribed to is very expensive, but if you are registered, free of charge to you as UNISA student. And there's a lot of research training workshops that are there. I won't talk much about library. I think Ms. Naidu has done a good job, and Kalamina, she has done a very good job. So over and above, you know, what the region is doing, what the department are doing, we also do this library training workshops. Anything I've talked about it, but this is a platform, or these workshops that we do on anything, they are there to make sure that you understand this platform. They are there to make sure that you understand the difference between plagiarism and similarity, the process of loading your chapters, your proposal into the system, how to retrieve the Turnitin report, but most importantly, how to interpret the Turnitin report and those essentials on the indexes. Very important. So it is important for you to attend this workshop. These are some of the interventions that have been done by our statistician, data analysis, questionnaire design, sample selection, mix, how to test your hypothesis, the t-test, ANOVA and COVA, and also interpretation of quantitative data. So while we are giving you bursary to go and outsource a statistician, but it's important for you to understand the process, especially with the PhDs, because now there is oral exam. The examiners are going to ask you, how did you analyze your data? And you have to take them step by step on how you have analyzed, not only interpreted, but the whole process. So even though you are outsourcing, and we don't understand because you don't have time, you don't have skills, but it's important that you understand this workshop so that you know the process. In case the statistician didn't do a good job, you'll be able to pinpoint and say, no, this is not right. You didn't do it right. And you can make follow-ups and so on. So it is important to have the skills. And these are some of the topics that we are touching on the research training workshops. We'll share the slides with you. This is the how our website looks like. We have this postgraduate research training program, and under workshop schedule, this is where you will have the monthly schedules. The April one is loaded, the dates, themes, links to join, and so forth. And that is the link that you can click. It will take you directly to the workshop schedule, monthly workshop schedule. There's also qualitative data analysis support. Same. So for those who are doing qualitative, yeah, we do support you with data analysis. And today there is an optional workshop for those who want to attend. Feel free to do so. There will be 1 hour workshop and it will be interesting. Some of you are doing mixed method, so you need support with qualitative data analysis. And again, you might be outsourcing a co-coder or analyst, but it's very important for you to understand the concepts, the process of analyzing data. So Atlas TI is the software that we have subscribed to. There are a lot of viewers and others and so on, but then they work similar. And Atlas TI is also one of the best in the market, expensive, but free for you as a UNISA student. So we have the license for 1 year. So each and every year, then you will need to renew, but obviously for free. There are also other events that we do. We host the annual research methodology in Dava, where we bring our specialists to touch on the different research approaches and showcase how you can apply these methodologies also outside of academia. We have 3 MT competition, 3 minutes thesis competition. So for PhD, there will be a call that will go out. PhD in all the colleges. So this is a competition running across all the universities, even beyond South Africa. So a call will go out. We will need you to put an abstract and so on. There will be training. You'll compete with your counterparts at the departmental college level and the institution. And 3 winners in the institution will go and compete with the likes of UCT, Stellenbosch, and VET. And yeah, we have won a lot of competition, so we do train our students. So same applies to postgraduate student showcase. This one's master's students are also included. The call will go out. Make sure that you draft an abstract on the study that you are doing, and same process, departmental level, college level. And during the Research and Innovation Week, there will be a dedicated day for postgraduate student showcase. There are some incentives, monetary And sometimes we do send you overseas to meet your counterparts in other universities so that you can see what they are doing and so on in your field. And you can do this while you are still busy with your study. Okay, interdisciplinary seminars. Yes, we do host interdisciplinary seminars, and you are also encouraged to attend. I've noted something that on the 14th of May, we will be having AI policy at UNISA. So we have a committee. They will be there in our interdisciplinary seminar taking the progress on the AI policy at UNISA, as well as the processes and so on. So you are invited into this. We also host annual Indigenous Epistemology Seminar series. So those of you who are doing studies aligned to Indigenous studies, again, a call will go out and we have started to accommodate our students. So just look out for them. Prof. Manamane talked at length about the MND related policies and procedures. Very, very, very important. These are the policies that you need to familiarize yourself with. But he drilled a lot on the procedures for masteral and doctoral degrees. That is very important. That is your MND Bible. Everything, you know, from admission up until graduate, all the information is there. Some of you are not sure about the process of submitting those 2 papers for examinations. All the steps are there. You just need to submit to a journal. So yeah, you will have the link so that you can access this. We was also talking about the SOP, standard operating procedure for doctoral oral examination. For PhD, make sure that you read that document so that you can have an understanding and prepare for your oral exam. So very important that you familiarize yourself with these policies. There are also some forms, supervision agreement forms. Who of you have completed those forms between you and your supervisor? Very important, because they'll also give you a chance to sit down with your supervisor and plan, you know, timelines, due date, and so on. So these are the documents that are there. Make sure that you familiarize yourself with that. This is how you can contact us for any workshop related inquiries. MNVRW@UNISA. This is the second one is the stat support. It will go to our statistician, and this is a link to our first group. I see I put the honors one. I'll just change it because we have the honors one and the MND one. So I'll just put in MND one and send you the updated version. We also have the YouTube channel where we edit all the recorded videos from the workshops that we are doing. So feel free to also subscribe. It's for free. Every time we load a recording, you will just get a notification. So that's how it works. And yeah, this is how we are trying to bring, you know, this distance between you and us. I think before I hand it over to you, let me just talk to you. Because I have first sessions, but let me just talk to some of these challenges, and later on we will do a 1-hour session on Atlas GI. So even though you are a quantitative person, I am encouraging you to live and attend this workshop, because one day you might be a supervisor and you might have a qualitative research project, you know, so it might help you. Or at work, you might be analyzing document and policies. This is a program that can help you, you know, to analyze them quickly. So there is a lot of value. Let me share again. Okay, yes. You will see one of the slots where we are supposed to talk about some of the challenges, and Dr. Karen will also do the same for 10 minutes. I mean, these are some of the challenges that I see, working with postgraduate students. Time management, Jack has talked at length about time management. It impacts all of us, especially the deadlines and so on. And this is where most of you fight with your supervisors. So those of you who are on proposal stage, the last section or one of the section, it is required of you to give a plan and timelines on how you will go about this station and this stage thesis spaces. So most of you, I see a lot of students, they just put the timelines there. And they don't know how much it will take them, especially, okay, for example, they will say methodology, maybe they put 2 months. But, and presentation of findings, they will say 1 month. And then you have to collect data. It takes time. You have to budget the time for that ethics application. It might take time, back and forth and so on. But if you attend these workshops, it will be easy for you. Analyzing data, it might take time. It takes time, especially if you are not conversant with this software. You might outsource your services. The statistician or the co-coder might say, I'll take 2 months. And then they can take 6 months. So before you commit yourself on those timelines in your proposal, make sure that you talk to your senior students and find out the experiences on how they are going about this. Talk to us so that we can assist you, to plan, so that you can complete your degree, in less than 2 years. There was this special program in SEDU education, and there were students who completed their master's in a year, but it was very intense program. The Department of Higher Education obviously was piloting this project. So you can complete, in the allocated time, and then you have to plan accordingly. But it takes a lot of time, especially when you are working and having other commitments and so forth. One of the things that I see many students doing in the proposal, they also don't budget the time for feedback from their supervisors. I mean, you cannot say chapter 1 introduction, I'll take 2 months. And after that 2 months is chapter 2. So there is that process, you submit to your supervisors, you get comments, sometimes it's back and forth, and so on. So what I'm saying is that you need to be realistic and don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure. Because you're going to frustrate yourself, you're going to frustrate your supervisor.
Thank you so much. What's the minimum, period of time one can realistically complete it? Because I find that when things extend too long, I get demotivated. So in order to be motivated and get the best out of it, I'm looking for a supervisor who will guide me and make sure I hit all my targets and get out of this.
Okay.
Nice.
Very, very nice question. And I can see you're curious and so on. And the regional director was talking about this curiosity and so on. So I'm going to refer you to go to the M&D procedures. Yeah. I know the answer, but just going to refer you to the M&D procedures. They talk about the counseling services. This is also the unit that you can go and they can help you with time management plan and so on and so on. Yes. But then whatever you do, make sure that you agree with the supervisor. Hence, I was speaking about supervisor agreement, because you might have your own plans, but then they may not be aligned with the supervisor. So make sure that everything that you are doing is aligned. So yeah, don't underestimate the ethical clearance process. Because I know this was going to come up. It's always a problem. Students always underestimate that process. But there are a lot of workshops that are going. And Dr. Karen will talk about research not as a linear process. So even though you are not at that stage, we are encouraging you to attend this workshop so that come that time, it will be easy for you. You will see it will be fast. In a month or two, you will be done. Yeah, with the ethical clearance. That analysis process, it takes time. It takes time. Even for me, I'm an expert in Atlas TI, but sometimes it takes time to analyze the data. So for you as a master student, it's your first time doing interviews and you are analyzing and you want to do it in 1 month. Yes, through AI, you can do it, and then they're going to return it, definitely. There'll be a lot of mistakes and so on. So they need to be quality in what you are doing. So don't underestimate that time. I've talked about feedback process. Sometimes you submit your work internally, it will come up with a lot of similarity, plagiarism, and so on. You have to go back and work. It's time. Social issues again, household cooking, it takes time. So there needs to be that life. You might underestimate it. Okay, you are laughing. You might underestimate it. Okay, let's talk about this. For cooking, almost how much time does it take to cook?
Too much. Fry very quick.
Minimum, how much time does it take?
20 minutes. 20 minutes. No.
20 minutes, 2 hours.
1 hour.
Okay. Maybe let's work on the meal, say 1 hour. Ne? 1 hour. Yeah, minimum.
20
average.
minutes.
Average. Because we cooking different things, eh? Some are doing pasta, some are doing pasta. Let's not get into that. Say 1 hour. Ne? In 1 day. In 5 days, 5 hours. In weekends, you are doing something fancy, it may take more. So already you are spending almost 10 hours on cooking alone. Dishes, maybe 20 minutes.
Oh, too much.
You are underestimating this, but look, you have 10 hours for cooking. How many articles can you read in those 10 hours? 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 day. So don't I see you are laughing. So I'm just going back to show you that, a lot of time. So talk to your loved ones, to get support, because, yeah, it can do a lot of difference. Eh? And I've not gone cleaning the house, doing the. So don't underestimate this. Yeah, well,
Supervisor is very.
yes.
Supervisor is only supervising you. They're supervising more than one student. Some of them are supervising 3 or 4 masters and 2 PhDs. So it's very important to have that sort of supervisor.
Now, thanks a lot. I've talked about feedback. It takes time. Sometimes you'll work 3 nights, in a row, and you submit, for Benson, and comes back, with a lot of feedback, track and change, and so on. So don't take it personally. I think we need to be at the stage where we don't take things personally. For the mere fact that you have feedback, I think it's a lot. Eh? It's a lot. And make sure that you address this concern. I see nowadays students will submit, get feedback. Some will use also AI tools and so on, but it will come up and they will get irritated and say, what, but you are not addressing this. Because whatever that you are not addressing, it's a golden thread. It will affect the chapters. So you are wasting their time and your time to complete. And it's important to manage, this relationship. Just like any other relationship, it's not easy. So put effort into developing this relationship with the supervisor. Just like, the relationship with your spouse, your kids is not easy. But take that effort. And the first step is to make sure that you populate and sign that supervisor agreement form. Make sure that you have this clear, communication lines. Other supervisors, like Dr. Karen, easygoing, they can even talk to you via WhatsApp and so on. Others will say, no, 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 no.
I like when you
You only use UNISA emails. You know? So, yeah, people are not the same, but just go with the flow. As long as there is that communication between you and the supervisor, you know. For some of you, they'll give you the WhatsApp and so on. You use them. So, yeah. Honestly, you know that you are a mature student, you have a lot of things going on in your life. Just be honest with the supervisor whenever you are getting stuck, you know. Like she's saying, some supervisors have 10 students, 5 PhD students. They are coming to the regions, presenting, and they are busy, you know. And you will think their world revolves around you. There's also marking, you know, 500 students and so on. So just be honest if there are any changes. So that's just be transparent, you know. Publications are also here. Some of you talking about publications. Please talk to your supervisor. We see a lot of students, you know, submitting publications, putting their supervisors on those manuscripts, and they get rejected. And you know, it's really embarrassing. Imagine the people are coming back, you know, with Prof. Mayamela on the manuscript, you know, with the concerns of AI and plagiarism and all that. So manage this relationship. Yeah? Dependency on AI. Look, we see a lot of you getting dependent on AI. Not a good thing. The field talk about it. Karen will talk about it. At Graduate Studies, we have this AI workshop. We started this week, Tuesday. They ran Tuesday up until Friday, and they are also continuing next week, Monday up until Friday, from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Like Rafida said, AI is here. We have to embrace it. But then we have to be transparent and use it ethically. And that's what we are trying to do. So if you have time to train for, make sure that you attend those workshops. If not, you can request at that MNDRW email address so that we can send you this presentation, daily presentation, and the recordings. And don't forget that we are having this AI policy guidelines and so on the 14th of May. So it will be interesting. Have a relationship with a librarian, though you can do a lot with AI and so on. But the likes of Ms. Naidu, they can access, you know, a rich database that can put quality on your way. So make sure that you have that relationship with a librarian. Those of you who don't have personal librarian, make sure that at least next week, Tuesday, you have made contact with your personal librarian. Very important. There's no way you can avoid reading. Read, and read. There's no way you can avoid it. Even if you are using these AI tools and nice technologies, you have to read. I'm doing this data analysis workshops and so on. Sometimes the students will do a nice job, you know, in analyzing the data. And, you know, especially for PhD students, when they are given the overview of how they analyze the data. I remember last week I saw one saying I've used Brandon Clock step on analyzing the data. But when I read that, I was like, no, Brandon Clock are not to say. It's nice, it sounds, you know, fancy, but not make sure. Financials, we know you are adults, might contribute to problems that we have. There are MND bursaries. There are also bursaries out of UNISA, from NRF, and so on. Your supervisors, some of them, they have projects, so they have a lot of funding. So talk to your supervisor, make your supervisor your friend, and they will help you. For you to even access the MND bursary, they have to advocate for you. So your supervisor should be your best friend, okay? Yeah. Social life, again, when you are doing your master's, your PhD, you have to sacrifice some of the things. It's said, it's painful, but you need the time. You know, so parties, if you're those person who's attending funerals, from Monday up until Sunday, when they bury, you might consider attending when they are buried, or 2 or 3 times a week, but not every day. You might be laughing, but yeah, it's a thing that you need to have. You need to be strict with your time. Yeah, so that's the thing. You need to cut some of your social life engagement, and it won't be enough also, but at least you will have that extra time. Now, I'll talk about the chores and so on. I won't get into it. Mental health, we also underestimate it. At UNISA, we have registered psychologists. So those of you who might not have medical aid, are struggling to consult, you can consult at UNISA. We have registered psychologists with the council. Sometimes, like I said, you want to debrief and you do it at the wrong platform, email, copying 100 people, shouting to us, or in the Facebook page and so on. We have registered counselors, registered psychologists, so please take care of your mental health. What you need to strive for is life-work balance, not work-life balance, but life-work balance. There are students who have disabilities, and there is a range of support that is there. Even in the Western Cape, they have dedicated unit and rooms with specialized technologies that can help you. But yesterday there was also a student about what she was asking about. You can even go there and check how those and for students with disabilities. We have a disability unit, and they can assist you and negotiate with your supervisor also for those deadlines and specialized support. And while I'm talking about disabilities, I know a lot of you think about the physical disabilities, like Tony's working on crutches, but there are neurodivergence, so don't be shy, don't feel down. We have a lot of support in the university to support you. A lot of students have made it, so make sure that you just talk to us and we will support you accordingly. So this is where I will end, because I was supposed to do first presentation, the second one, and the Atlas TI one. So yeah, what will be left for me is the Atlas TI one. It will be very engaging. We will do it in a form of games and so on, interactive. So even though you are a quantitative person, but you love it.
Thank you, Dr. Majila. I think let's give him a round of applause. I think there's a lot of extra information that you've learned that you didn't know before. So do take all of that into consideration. We will share the presentations with you. So we will send an email in within next week with the presentations of Dr. Stander, the presenters from College of Law, and Dr. Majila as well as our presentation and all our contact details, so that you do have that with you as well. We're going to now break for lunch, a brief lunch. It's going to be a working lunch. So we're going to grab something to eat, and then Dr. Stander will continue with her presentation. So please do go and help yourself. There is a small snack at the back and also some refreshments.
I told you I'm going to take a nap later.
my husband comes from economics and they call this a brown bag. I don't know where the term comes from. I think it's when you had a brown bag and you were eating your lunch out of it and they defend it and they had all these research talks over their little brown bag somewhere there in Oxford or one of the English universities. So I shared a picture on the screen to link up. Oh, you need the auditorium. Just to link up. Just to link up to where Dr. Tony ended. So this is a 12 years ago, almost close to the end of this month. When I did my PhD, so in then just we had this surprise baby and he was sick. But so that's while that is a challenge and it's definitely not an easy part, that was my part, right? And all of you have a different part, but that was never the plan. And that links up to also earlier you mentioned that a PhD or a master's degree is never linear. And the moment things start to go from one step to the next step, you must think what's going wrong. Because some days moving forward is deleting 7 pages or changing your topic or finding that you had an idea of what to do in your, that's what happened to me, your proposal was approved and the next week your supervisor sends a paper from the Strategic Management Journal that just said what you wanted to do. Sorry, me? Back to square one. Okay. I'm going to say that because of any other reason that I want to be able to play with my screen. Okay, so we've learned a lot of II, right? And everyone wants to run away from II. I don't necessarily think we do need to run away from II. I just think we need to watch out and not let it do the thinking for us. So last week I really did fire ChatGPT. But it makes up things like you won't believe. And the problem I think postgraduate students have is that you haven't read enough to know when it starts lying to you. Right? Because it sounds so plausible. They had a thing on Flit FM in Pretoria where they actually asked ChatGPT if it would be better to drive to the car wash or walk to the car wash 100 meters away. And ChatGPT said, of course it would be better to walk. It's only 100 meters away. That's how you wash your car if you don't have your car there. So generative AI can make a lot of sense by creating words that sound really nice. And for me, for example, who is Afrikaans, it sounds even nicer because it fixes all this Afrikaans that comes through in my writing, right? Without having to pay $1,000. So I did find a chat. We had a long-standing faithful relationship. That's no longer keeping news. Okay, so if we look at IRUs, UNISA policy is not out yet. I think it's very slow. No. I'm going to run from one to the other. It's fine. No slideshow. I'm going to show you video. You can't see nothing.
Maybe at the back.
At the back.
And she wants to jump.
I want to jump from one screen to the other. So you would not put your glasses on. Just put the microphone. Okay. So when it comes to using AI, and we had a discussion during the break, I'm going to go out of the screen. AI can show up as plagiarized very quickly, especially when you change languages. This is also why we're not using the Turnitin language tool anymore. But this guy is very funny. It's a good guy to follow, especially when you're doing a full dissertation and a PhD. It does bring some lies and laughter into the process, but it does take you through a lot of interesting things. Can I not think with this? Oh, and then just do this. No, but then that got down. Okay. Okay, so back to Annie. He does take you through all the processes of proposal writing, the things, and he makes it a bit interesting because it kind of gets the process behind the actual doing of it kind of gets very boring. So let's just listen to him.
These are the 3 ways that you can use AI ethically that people seem to agree on. The first thing is disclose. Elsevier has said this: authors should disclose the manuscript and the use of AI, and a statement will appear in the published work. That could be in the acknowledgement section, that could be in the method section, wherever you are using AI. The second thing is no manipulation. As Wiley says, Gen AI tools must not be used to create, alter, or manipulate original research data and results. There we are, super easy, just don't use it to cheat. And the last thing, I don't know why this one's in here, but no AI authors. That's strange. Nature says large language models such as ChatGPT do not currently satisfy the authorship criteria, so you can't be ChatGPT et al.
Okay, so those, if you read the draft university policy, it's similar, right? It's about a lot more detail. And the one thing that you need to watch out on any open source AI type model is the data. So, and that brings us then to one of the things that today I need to speak about a little bit, and it's research ethics. So, research ethics is about how you deal with the data that you have and how you collect the data and how you make sure that no one gets hurt in the process. If you take your data file and you dump it on ChatGPT or Grok or anything, who owns that data? If you read the little fine print, right? Now your data is ready. Everyone. So watch out ethically if you use your data analysis, your data files, right? I didn't actually see that in the ethics policy right away. Yeah. So watch out what you do with your data files and AI. And it can, AI is wonderful at looking at data and analyzing it. It's also a wonderful coach if you need struggling with SPSS, and try and do your own stats.
Yes.
Right? And what helps a lot and what generative AI is very good at is, I don't know how to do this. Step 1, it can give it to you, and then it'll even explain it to you in Afrikaans, Zulu, German, any language that you want to. So it's very good at being a personal research assistant. So the one that I find very nice that UNISA subscribes to, that you need to know of, and I think it's important to have a look at, is Web of Science. So once you go onto the UNISA library, you go to find key resources. Scopus, and I've got no problem with Scopus, but I don't. Scopus, I have to change my whole honors course because Scopus wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. So another one I got science. Web of Science, and you're gonna get it there. Then you're gonna click through and then it opens like this. So I want an example of one of your research questions today. I don't want to put mine. Nobody's got a research question. No. I just want a research topic or a question or. Okay, any question? Well, wait for.
Topic or question?
Topic is also fine.
When it doesn't corporate cash holding.
Okay.
Corporate cash holding. It's determining for corporate cash holding.
Oh.
Yeah, determining of corporate cash holding.
Oh, corporate.
Cash holding.
We're gonna use you now as an example, so you don't even have to spell right. No, not cooperate, corporate. Right, guys. Yeah, oh. Niemand spell it?
ATE.
Oh. You think? Okay. No, it's not. Then you put it in. So while we wait for Web of Science, we're going to do this time in a different AI. It's also not generative AI. This one is going to help you with the research question. And how does it do that? We're going to put just your topic in. And then we're going to say, okay, maybe if we want to have it a little bit more of a specific framing, what should a research question look like? Or you can add measurable outcomes. What could a research question look like?
Research question look like. What?
Or if we add the population, it can look like this.
Yeah. But again, Doc, we have to also be careful over there in terms of what you actually want to do. I'm just thinking on my own topic. When I go through, so I'm doing the study of urban agriculture, but particularly looking at the social aspect. Now, social aspects has not been discussed in the South African, especially the Californian context, nor has it been done in the global context. So I know that there is social capital linked to urban agriculture, but there isn't a clear transition from social capital to go to circular economy or typical circular economy. So one must be careful when one use that process that you still follow that golden thread right across the system.
But we're just looking for ideas. And social and of urban. Okay, so while we wait for this one, so you know the fact that it hasn't been done, that isn't a reason for you to do it. Okay. And I always say that, and I use an example for students. You know how Newton determined the speed at which things fall? Do you, all of you know? He measured the speed at which a lead ball and a feather, and as a maximum variation sample, and say because they both fall at the same speed, anything in between falls at the same speed. So, maybe I can go, has anyone measured the speed at which the cell phone falls? No. So am I going to go on top of the Eiffel Tower and then drop my phone and say, poof? You know, how quick does it fall?
No, because we can do the stack of this.
No, because we know what the speed is. So, but it's never been done, right? Not in the African context, not from the Eiffel Tower, UNISA on top of the UNISA buildings, nowhere. So the fact that something has not been done is not a reason to do the research. Okay, just watch out. Okay, so here we can look at the social aspects and look at how the different questions that can come from there. Okay, also watch when you do this, right? That if you click on these links, that you don't go out of scope or out of your field wherein you are. Okay. Because, like you said earlier, there's no brain and heart in this thing. It's there because it can use a lot of language and we can understand. And like I grouped you all together earlier. AI does that. It groups all these words together, all those words together, and all these, and then it gives you a nice summary of all the words that is there. It doesn't understand it. I used an example yesterday also. If you tell an AI to shave a sheep, and never tell it that it has a head, you will have a whole flock of sheep with nice fluffy heads. Right? Because it won't think to shave it because it doesn't even see it. Okay, so you can use it as an assistant to help you think a little bit, right? So this one, for example, takes it totally out of the scope, and it goes to immigrant community, but also in a metropolitan area. But what it does, it gives you a better idea of how to structure your research questions. So you can play around with it, change it, put your things in. Okay. So this is not generative science. That's not gonna, it will now if I click generate things, but it will help you just think through the basics of it. You can then go back to Web of Science. It will then give you a search strategy that it follows. It gives you the Boolean queries, so Boolean operators that you can use. You can then plug this also into Google Labs. I do like Google Labs. Watch out for Google Labs. It's sneaky. It does not keep your search. So create the dump folder on your desktop. In the dump folder, put whatever you are searching today as a heading, and in Google Labs, download all the PDFs and just put them there. Okay, what's nice about Google Labs though, it does tell you how your paper, this paper fits with the question. So why did it give you that one? So copy and paste that also into a Word file. It does help you into the field and understand. Job earlier said descriptive writing. So you can have a lot of text there that describes things. And I see it a lot, especially in new students, where they say, according to Tony, or Tony says that, and Karen says that, and Jock says that, and so what? Why, who cares what they say? What does it mean what they say? Right? So if you start writing he said, she said, then you are likely writing descriptive and not analyzing what they say. Right, so go back to that and watch it. So what Google Labs helps you is to say, okay, this paper of Tony is relevant to your research question because of this. And then go read the paper. Yes. Read it. Even the abstract, you don't necessarily have to go read the methods, right? But make sure that you understand what is it about, why that Google Scholar say this thing fits. Okay. Anyway, so it can say, it gives you the search strategy, how to search the cinnamon. Would you like to proceed with this search strategy? So, would you like to, sir? You want to see? Yeah. Yes. Okay, it will continue here in the background. Now that folder of yours that you have there with all these lovely articles from Google Labs and everywhere, right? Okay. You go to Notebook LLM. So now with LLM, the free version, you can upload 30 articles per shot. What it does, it helps you understand the literature and helps you understand it. So let's like example, human-centered design. I created this for honor students, but you can ask them to explain different things. But what is there? 7 articles in here. What's nice about it, it can create a mind map, and we'll show you the mind map now. And it gives you kind of a summary. Let's just get it in the screen. To tell you how this works. So you can click, you say, okay, if we look at technology, fully supported active learning, what are the 4 pedagogical approaches? And the whole time it links back, and it only works with the 30 articles you put in. So it's not lying like ChatGPT. And it's explaining it to you. Because it helps you read and helps you write. But it's limited to 30. So it works well if you have your kind of overarching thing, and then you say, okay, for 4 pedagogical approaches, let me go get more articles and create a notebook only for that, with those 30 articles. Then it helps you. So you'll need to have a few notebooks throughout your time, but it does help you understand and kind of get to what you want. The other one that works similar, but you can get caught up and fall into a rabbit hole like Alice quite quickly, is Research Rabbit, and it's completely free. So, and when I say you fall into a rabbit hole very quickly, I use this specifically actually to prove a point in an article that I just sent to a journal. So, I looked at one specific thing in strategic management called strategic liability. And strategic management literature and most literature likes the positive side of things. So everything that gets written in strategy is about competitive advantage and how you get it. And if it's not quite as good, then it's bad. It gets thrown there away in a little box and people are criminal and I don't know what. But anyway, so they never say it and it's never been done. And except for Orange in 2024 wrote on liabilities, and I don't want to go there. But this kind of proves it because the article is not in front of in 2024 only been cited like 24 times. Right, so it shows you a point. But what is nice about this, it shows you how articles are connected. Let's have a look then. For example, if we click on this article, again, you have to download the articles and put them in. What does similar words look like? And it creates a rabbit hole for you to go in. And it will say, okay, this is like similar to what I'm doing. Right? But if this one is similar to another 21,000, and it's cited by like 3,900. And if I click on it, it's time to jump in the rabbit hole. It will give you those 3,900 articles that cited that one article. So it makes forward and backward searching very easy, but also a bit like, oh, okay, there's not too many things to read. Okay. So what you're looking for, and especially the groups that have just started, you're looking for something like, and I use this, my students are lucky because we have it. I'm not sure that there's a lot of other fields, but I'm sure most fields have got like updated systematic literature reviews. So you look for them in your field, look for a systematic literature review. A good one. Good one. So look at the type of journal also. So this is a strategy of one, and you cannot know it's good because Richard Whittington is one of the authors, and you go to the board. And then this Because you can keep you busy the whole day. Business cycle. Yeah. Shows you methodological contributions that you can make within the field of quantity strategy. And when it comes to a PhD and the difference and why I move students, if you understand this, you have to make a theoretical contributions. We have to understand this theory, right? Behind why these things are being done. This doesn't. It's someone gives you a nice summary on how and where and what falls in, and there's another table that even says where the research is at. A master's doesn't necessarily have to make a theoretical contribution. That's the biggest difference. A master's is a good guide for replication study. No, people think, replication study. There's actually strategic management journal article justifying replication research. Because why does we say qualitative research must be replicable and you must be able to repeat it, replicate it. But why must it be like that if nobody ever does it? You know? So there's a reason for it. And medicine is actually quite good at that because they don't put so many people into one box and say, okay, we're going to test this on the whole population, this medicine. They test it here, and then the next company comes and they test the similar drug there. And then eventually somebody combines it into a meta-analysis, right? And that's all replication studies, right? And more something gets repeated, the better, and there's different times. So masters is a good one for replication. It doesn't necessarily make it easy, but it does help you because you need to prove that you can do research. They've done it. Now they must do their own research, make a contribution, and keep your supervisor happy. Like nobody's gonna help you. And that's one of the important things, especially for masters and the doctoral students. Your supervisor is gonna have the final say. So if you keep on fighting with them and pushing against what they want, your life is going to be difficult because they need to sign anything that you want to give in. Right? So it's easier, and they're not always right. My husband the chair of the department had to take over in his PhD journey, and it wasn't even actually right? But no. Think about that. So it's not always easy, and it's not always easy for us. Right? Some students you just don't understand. I currently have a student I just don't understand what he's saying. Just because I don't know, he speaks English, but I don't know what he's writing. It makes it very difficult to give you feedback in 2 weeks if you don't know. And I think the problem is probably the Afrikaans, but also the Portuguese on his side. The language differences underpinning it, right? And then in the end, supervisors are also human. We need to go on holiday. Otherwise, we will probably pull your work out and you will not like what you get back, right? So you need to give them that break also. But that's why that agreement is important, right? Because we can only take you that far. You have to do this on your own. We're just here to make sure you are on the right path. You know, we can't do it for you. Then we would have like 10 PhDs. Other day I thought I might do another one. Anyway, so where were we? Okay, so ethics. Free training is free. You can just go onto this. Let my honors students do the first ethics one. In any case for our honors level, then do the second and third one for your ethical clearance applications. So ethics, why does it take so long? It doesn't really take that long. It's just people. 10 people. I wanted to share. Where did I put that? I wanted to the Department of Business Management has got that. Right? We shared it out to all our students. So what happens, especially at the College of Economic and Management Science, I don't know if it happens like this everywhere, you submit your form, I'll show you now, online. That goes to what's called the college coordinator. The college coordinator will check the form quickly and say, well, you didn't write capital letters. So you will get your first 7 comments, right? And they'll send it back and say, no, everything must be written nicely and neatly. Okay, cool. Because your supervisor was on holiday and checked it with a glass of red wine. Okay, go back. You submit a table of changes. Now, what is the table of changes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Capital letters, changed on these pages, and you submit that via email back to this guy, and he says, okay, he will send it off to the department, and off it goes to the Department of Business Management, and the Department of Business Management lady gets it, and doctor is like, no, this is totally wrong. Send it back with 6 different comments. This guy's like, oh, I missed that. The supervisor sends it back again, and there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that person gets a nasty email from the supervisor with, why are you being so nasty? But you send it back to them, and then it goes to a committee. The committee then reviews it. And normally you get like 40 comments from 30 people, all looking at the commas that you didn't put in the right place.
Oh my God.
And you have to write a new letter and resubmit. That's the people behind it. Okay. But there's a reason for it. Right? The moment you have ethical clearance, you can go speak to people. And we don't have control of what you are going to say to those people. Right? So they want to make sure that you know that at least the document that you have, all the commas and points and the referencing style is proper. Because then the university can say from our side, right, things are fine. Okay. So if you look at these dates, I've got 3 students that need to submit to ethics by the 27th of April. That's online. So the latest that can go to this person is the 20th of April, because he needs to submit it there. The latest you can submit that to me to actually give me time to not do it over red wine. It's next week. Right? So it gives you 3 weeks before that 27th of April, and that's only going to sit on the 27th of May. Right? So work that out. So it's not necessarily a delay. It is a process that has to happen so that you are safe. So yes, it is frustrating, but keep that in mind, because we can't do anything about it. If it's a year or it's at any university, they have a similar process. And it is even for literature.
That's something. Yeah. Other things that I see frustrating students, like in the ethics form, they will talk about risk. And many students will say no risk or minimum risk. But then if you attend this training and the EpiGem for PhD students, they will teach you about those risks and how to justify and so on. And it will minimize that back and forth of your application. So please make sure that you attend this training and the EpiGem for students. Your ethical students will be, it will go very fast. So you need to invest time in equipping yourself with these things.
We also, there's on the other end of the spectrum, how did I? Let's open that. I wanted to show you. We don't have a peer review system proof. We have a research colloquium. The dates are also out. And I want to show you something similar on the dates. There you go. Okay. You can see that there is a date of lots submission. That again, about a week before that. And that is a reason for it, is that we do need to be able to send it to people so that they can read your work and give you constructive feedback. So this is not an instant thing like the AI tools, but they are a very nice, there's one very nice AI tool, Speecify, that can give you very good critical feedback on your research that can give it back to you instantly. But even over and above that, I did the review yesterday while I was writing. I did with all these tools there. I examined a thesis where the student said that they are going to do something, and that's how we examine, or that's how I examine. I read what you're going to do, and then I don't care what you did, and then I go read the post and see, did you actually do what you said you would like to do? And did you solve the problem that you said and I did it? Yeah. But so even with all these tools that are available, things can still go upside down. Okay.
Just
I can keep you busy the whole day. I don't think I want to do this. Which is what is still okay. Let's say you had a look at the question. I'm going to give you an example of what Elicit will give you. Generate a report. If we quickly go back to Web of Science where we started this morning or this afternoon, it will give you an overview
get the new one.
Of the research, gives you term characteristics, external micro-level influences, and a conclusion. That gives you a whole summary, and this is about 13 sources. You can click on the source, it will give you the rest of the document. The document within Web of Science, not open source. Okay. It does this one that uses open source. And that does something similar. It's called consensus.
So it's on this year.
Yes.
So she said this wasn't for this. Maybe this is still coming, the lens and the
Fine. I was consensus first. That's similar thing. Also, all papers, but open source. It can't cloud fast the fire. And the sky looks blue because of the shoulder light. And so it does, it also then gives you the sources here. You can click on it. You can export it with it, you can go further. It gives you the key takeaway of each paper. So these tools make it easier to understand. You can easy to go here and use the different tab. Okay. Fine. Right. Research. Proposal. Why? And we close from time to think at least it will get notified us. You can go this fast and you'll see how quickly it goes. But you cheat yourself. You cheat yourself. You cheat yourself out of learning what is fake. And in the world that we are in today, it is very important to not take things at face value. understand why things work. And I know, my kids drive me crazy because I told them, okay, well, always just do your homework. Why? Yeah, that's not where we want to understand why, but okay, why? Because you need to prepare for class. Why? Right? But it's important that you understand why. It is important that you learn the skills of finding the right information, and it's important that you know right from wrong, especially with all this information that is out there. Okay, so ethical clearance stops you at the point, and that's why you get comments from this guy and that lady sending comments and making you feel like you're going to go. They stop you and say, stop and think for a moment. Right? If you do something, is it going to benefit society or not? Right? And we can go further and we can do different things, and I can really give you busy for the whole day. I'm sure Doc also. But use it. Use something. Right? But don't let it do it for you because you cheat yourself. Okay, that's all. You don't cheat anyone else. People don't care. And I promise you, people don't care about the documentary except for the bad money. But you want to learn how to do it because you want to be here. Right? And if that is not the reason why you are here, we just wait for Claude. And it will tell us why the sky is blue. Thank you.
You go back to that slide that you but like just a Spider-Man.
The
research rabbit. Oh, the rabbit. Is that now what you asked? Is that also a way to determine? Because the one question I usually get from my students is, how do I know when it's enough? What is enough? Sure. When do you know? Is this also then a method to determine who the gurus are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It will tell you if you go back.
Because you know the seminal authors.
Yeah.
So if your student doesn't cite, if you don't cite Levy or Broad, or if you don't cite Creswell.
Yeah, so depending, so you will see, for example, if we look at, but this is not actually the wrong example to use because it won't have any seminal authors. That's kind of the point of our clients. But in this, you can see in these articles, it looks like a lot of them are linking back to this survey article. Yeah. Right? It means if I'm writing this guy, I need to cite this guy, whatever he is saying, right? Seems to be important enough that all these other people are citing it. So what is he saying? Okay, so and then most of the, I don't know if you're on your side, on our side, all the research focus areas, especially when you are starting off, go look at if you Google UNISA, Master and Doctoral Students, research focus areas, they all kind of have an overview, right? And in there, they mostly put the seminal authors. So go get those papers and start putting in the research rabbit and see how they lead you down the rabbit hole. Right? Until you get the one, but remember where you started. But that guy is important. That's why they put it in that document.
What was the other program that you used as well?
This one is I used Elicit. Elicit? Yeah. The Web of Science was the other one that I used. Notebook LLM, we had Consensus. Actually, my honor students, I can go use Consensus for literature review. This is also a nice one to use for work. If you want to prove something to your boss, they don't really care if it's behind a firewall or not. You know, to add some, juice to your reports, quickly ask Consensus things, say and cite it, put the reference list. You look way smarter than you are. Thank you. Screen.
Because there is a workshop on illicit that is taking place on Wednesday. It's an in-person and online, so you don't have to come to the campus. It is here, it is in Paro, it's offered by the ADOBH. So you guys can come to the campus if you want to. I'm just gonna fly it's online from 9:30 to 2. There is a registration form, that's why I want to share it with you now. Because then you'll also get an invite from them. They also, the other whole week, so there is a serious workshop. I just thought to mention illicit because Dr. Slander was mentioning it. So there it is. There is the workshop invite. And there is a bit.ly link. So if you can just maybe enlarge that so that I can get to it. If you do have your smartphone with you, let me read you the link quickly. It's https:// bit.ly / 41 HY. Hey.
Sorry. Wait.
Yeah.
Let me bring it back.
Okay, so we're back. So it's bit.ly / 41 HY QTJ. Want to come take a picture? You want Okay, so I just want to also get an indication from the floor. How many are doing a qualitative study? Qualitative. Or mixed method? Qualitative. Will you please stay for the Atlas TI training with Dr. Tony? We have come to the end of the program. What we do want to do is just do a closing remarks. And then we're going to take you to the research space that we have dedicated for our postgraduate students. So that is a space that you can come use here, free Wi-Fi. And I will give over to Mr. Abrams, our Head of Facilitation of Learning, to do the closing remarks and also explain to you the importance of that space and where we are in phase 1 of it now. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Abrams, John Abrams, Mr. A. Come and do the closing remarks and then also the walkabouts.
Good afternoon, students. As I was introduced, my name is John Abrams. I'm commonly referred to as Mr. A. So if you need to get hold of me, you can just ask anybody to speak to Mr. A. I'm not going to keep you long because I can imagine that long hours you've spent and how excited you are to go and do all these platforms and start your maybe review your research journey. My apologies for the joining late. I had to attend the funeral this morning. So that's why I joined you late. But we wanted to have our postgrad students here in person because for the past few years, we've only had sessions like this online. And this year we decided, let's see if we can get our postgrad students. Yesterday we had our PG Dips and Honors, and today we have our M&Ds, so that we can meet you, so that we can show you that there is support available to you, so that you don't feel that there's a distance, because we're an open distance learning institution, that there's distance in what we are doing, that we are actually very close and we are actually very much available. So that's the one reason. And we've in fact, until Friday, we decided, should we send a link for people to join online? And we said, no, we're not going to do that because then people just opt to go for the online. And it's perhaps good not to be speaking behind glass, but actually to meet each other.
So we hope one of the outcomes of today is for you to actually engage with each other and then perhaps start some form of support groups amongst yourselves. We have introduced you to the support available, not only at the regional office, but also our colleagues from main campus were also here to explain to you what are the kinds of support that you have available so that you don't feel frustrated, you don't feel isolated, you don't feel alone, but that you know that we do actually want to support you. We are also going to take you through to a space that we have now dedicated for postgrad students only. We are in phase 1 of that space, and we have done some benchmarking. We've gone to CPUT, to UCT, to Stellenbosch University, because we wanted to see what kinds of spaces do those contact universities have, and how can we make those kind of spaces available to you. And so phase 2 of our research phase is really dependent on how our students will make use of that space. Because when we can go to management and tell management, see how our students want the space, because we are thinking that some of you, not all of us, have access to the same kinds of spaces. You might be in a space where you have small children, or you don't have a space where you can quietly just focus on your research. Or you might have a big house, but you don't want to be in a home environment to do your research. You actually want to move away. You can come to our campus. And we are actually going to make that space available to you for whatever hours you are telling us. And I must say, it will be dependent on how you make use of that space. So we are excited. We are ready with phase B for the phase 2. We've planned the phase 2. We've budgeted the phase 2. Now we must just add the attendance. We must just show management, this is the cost that you will incur, but this is how our students are responding to it. So we really appeal to you to make use of that space. So let me come then to, because I also know Dr. Maricela is going to do an Atlas TI workshop with you. So let me be brief and just come to thank our regional director in his absence for doing the welcome for us this morning. The team of UNISA Western Cape. I must also just add that Bronwyn and Jacques, who are both also PhD candidates, have been accepted in UNISA's what they call career transitioning program. So both of them will be commencing as academics as from the 1st of May. I think you can give them a round. So you better get to know Mr. A because you're going to be saddled with me here. Yeah. So thank you to both of them. Thank you to Tabo, our digital learning advisor. He's a master's candidate. So give him a round of applause. So Tabo, thank you to you, and thank you to our two esteemed guests, Dr. Sander and Dr. Matila. You are going to hear a lot from me, I think. Yeah. As our students request our support, I might have to turn to you. So thank you so much that you've availed yourself and that you've shared your knowledge and your passion with us. Give them a round of applause. We also have our Deputy Director from Student Engagement and Quality Assurance, Mr. Philway Chepe. I believe she has spoken to you this morning. There she is. Really passionate about student support and student engagement, quality student engagement and support. So thank you, Philway, for joining us. Then we also, from College of Law, we have Professor Bernadine Benson, yeah, and Professor Munamela. Thank you so much for being here. And understanding there was a librarian as well. Yes. So now, thank you so much for joining us as well. Philomena, thank you to you. And then I must also thank Mrs. Matila. She's here to support her husband. Our communications team is not here now, and so but we will also thank them in the absence. So students, we are going to take you to A11, and from there, those of you who want to continue with the, maybe I just have an indication. Are there some of you who want to attend them at the CI workshop? Is 1, 2, 3. Oh, we have quite a few. So we will go to A11. We won't be long there. We promise you it's 5 to 10 minutes. And then those who want to come here for the SCI can return. But again, thank you so much for joining. Please make use of our services. Please reach out to us. Thank you so much. You can just follow me and surround us.
From Office 365.